9th at the Wine Garden in Belleville for a fundraising event for Illinois Republican governor candidate Darren Bailey.
30 executive orders in 2 years. That is insane, and that is how we lose a constitutional republic.
The evening includes dinner, a silent auction, and a cash bar. Join the effort to help restore Illinois by partnering with Darren Bailey. That's Tuesday from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Wine Garden in Belleville. Find details and purchase tickets at 971talk.com/events.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
Weight. If you were looking for a possibility for you to shed weight that you have been trying to lose for a very long time, Slim 180 can have the answer for you. I have done 2 programs now with Slim 180. I'm finished the HCG program, which has helped me lose 22 pounds in less than a month, and I'm on their Crave program right now, and it is fantastic. I am actually the food that they have me eating, which is stuff I get at a grocery store, along with snacks that they provide that are delicious. I've loved every single one of them. Look forward to them each and every time. The stuff I'm getting at the grocery store, it's stuff that I like to eat. It's stuff that we can sit down and eat together with my family. And it's just smart eating and guidance and medical supervision with Slim 180. Please consider trying to lose the weight with the people who sponsor the show. And you can find out all of their locations. There are 6 of them. You can find them online at their website at myslim180.com. When you go visit them at their locations, make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show. Say, Annie's talked about this. She said it worked for her. You can say, I don't know if it'll work for me, or I want to do exactly what she did. They're still going to take your story and customize your solution for your needs. It doesn't matter if you're looking to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds or even more. Go to Slim 180. You can find them online at myslim180.com.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brittney Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brittney at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrittneyVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brittney Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brittney Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brittney. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brittney Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrittneyVision.com.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Gemka, the fans, and the city of ECAT for my mistake that I made and the embarrassment that I brought on. I want to also apologize to my parents, my siblings, my Phoenix Mercury organization back at home, the amazing women of the WNBA, and my amazing spouse back at home. I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to put in jeopardy the Russian population. I never meant to break any laws here. I made an honest mistake, and I hope that in your ruling that it doesn't end my life here.
So Brittney Griner has been found guilty, and she has been sentenced in Russia to 9 years in a Russian prison for possession of cannabis. It was her own personal, medically prescribed in the United States, of course. And now she took it to Russia. She got caught with it in Russia. The law in Russia says you can't have that in Russia. That's Russia's law. She had it in Russia. They found her for it. They busted her for it. They've thrown the book at her for it. I really want to know what you think about this issue, because I understand that on the list of everything facing you in your daily life, and yeah, I'm talking about the simple things like inflation, your savings account, your ability to put food on the table for your family, your comfortability and security in your job. This is something we're going to have to look forward to here as the recession sets in, where people and companies are going to have to figure out what to do as they have to continue to face a toughening economy. They're going to end up potentially having to lay people off. Lots of articles being written about the pending job situation that might be developing in the next 6 months or so based on inflating prices and people not being able to employ as many people as they did before because of that. The bottom line gets messed up with. These are things that are on the top of your list. These are the things that we talk about on the show every single day. But in the grander scheme of things, when we look back to early 2022 and we see Russia boldly invade Ukraine and our administration, what was the Biden administration's Ukraine strategy, Brad? Can you explain to me here in a couple of sentences what their strategy was and is?
Well, their strategy was, oh crap, they invaded Ukraine.
That's unfortunately true.
their strategy now is well, it's basically put all the economic sanctions that we have possible and pressure all of our allies to put economic sanctions on Russia, and then hope that they crumble under the pressure and that they can't fight the war.
While Russia's being propped up by China.
Exactly.
So that brings me to my next point. What's going on with the United States' relationship with Russia? What was the biggest story, which turned out to be a non-story during the Trump administration, was that somehow or another, Donald Trump had interest in emboldening Russia more than improving the United States, which is ironic for someone who says, let's make America great again. We now see Russia going through with what they threatened to do in Ukraine. And then you look to China and you see that the United States relationship with China right now is tenuous. And we see Nancy Pelosi choosing to stop in Taiwan after being told you will not do that by the Chinese government, by being asked not to do that by the American government. And yet she does it. Yay, good for her. High five.
Yeah.
Do we feel comfortable with China right now? We don't. So here we have Brittney Griner, who is somebody that I would assume at least the majority of you have never heard of before. I've heard of her. I don't watch the WNBA. I don't watch the NBA, folks. So I love basketball, but I like watching grade school, high school, and college basketball, and then that's where it ends. If St. Louis had an NBA team, though, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to rattle the cages of the NBA more because I would want to like it. I digress. Why does Brittney Griner matter? Because you're probably thinking Brittney Griner doesn't. Well, here's the situation that's in front of us. Brittney Griner is an American imprisoned in Russia, where I believe if she was Brittany Smith from Fenton, Missouri, they would not be doing to her what they're doing to Brittney Griner. which means it's not actually about Brittney Griner. This is about Russia and America. This is about Russia having an opportunity fall in their lap to flex their muscles on America. And normally, I'm thinking that America is going to go, wait, what? Here, hold my beer and take care of business. We're almost so far on the other side of this issue right now that I don't know that we can really rein it back in. Without capitulation, I asked you off the air, Brad, what you thought about this, and I said that I think that this is Russia flexing their muscles against the United States. Your response?
Yeah, they absolutely are, and they absolutely have the upper hand. I mean, we've positioned ourselves as a country to where the only thing that we can do to get our own citizen back, like her or hate her, the only way we can get our own American citizen back who's on, like, I don't want to say trumped up charges because she absolutely did what she did, but 9 years for a little small thing of personal use marijuana and a vape. This, like you were saying, this is absolutely them flexing. But what do we have to offer? The last person I heard is a guy named the Merchant of Death. I mean, are we going to back off of some sanctions on Russia? Because we got a lot of those that we could back off on. But then what does that say about our Ukraine policy? We're not in a winning situation.
And
with
it's
this.
our own dang fault.
Exactly.
That's what really, really grates at me. I said this on the other side of this issue right after she got arrested. I said it on the show. I don't think it was really very popular from listeners on the show, even necessarily from people in the room. I think it was kind of 50-50. I saw somebody just comment on the live stream. And by the way, I'll tell you what it is here in just a second. But today's YouTube live chat poll, Annie Frey YouTube channel, go to the live video in the live chat. The poll today is about this, and I want you to weigh in on this. Betsy said, I cannot decide on poll again today as she is not a patriot is her issue. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. What Brittney Griner has stood for or kneeled for in the United States, she needs that now.
Mm-hmm.
She turned her image and her presence in America as a public figure. And yes, just because you don't watch the WNBA doesn't mean that she is not a public figure in another in another interest group, and she has influence on people. I have, if she's B or C level celebrity, I'm like F or G. So I don't look at her and I don't have the position to be like, well, this is what she should, she can live her life. And in the United States of America, she did not do anything that was illegal. She stood against something that I profoundly stand for, literally stand for. She knelt for something. She, in my opinion, which I am entitled to have, disrespected the flag of the United States of America, which stands for the freedom for her to believe whatever she wants to believe and to speak. She could say whatever she wants to say. The First Amendment has great latitude in this country. Does it in Russia? She'll find out, or has. Brittney Griner used her time and her platform in the United States to go against something that, in my mind, she now needs. I don't think that means that she shouldn't be, as an American citizen, still entitled to our respect of what makes the whole thing American. The idea that the First Amendment exists so that people can stand for outrageous things, that people can say wrong, patently false things. You can say these things. And in a world where we say, no, you cannot, then what happens is that you get disinformation boards. You get people in government who say, that the facts of the matter are incredibly important. And if they're not being used, we are going to employ a czar to oversee the issue. The problem is you can't trust any of those people because it's not about truth and facts. It's only about politics and money and power. I actually think that Brittney Griner deserves the benefit of being an American now more than ever. that this is an opportunity to show the world what America values. And I'm not talking about what the government should do, the Merchant of Death, which could be a rapper for all I know. He is a terrible, terrible human being. The government has to figure out what they want to do with this, and I don't trust them with that decision right now anyway. They've gotten us to this point. It is a disaster of our own making. I'm talking about in the national discussion, I have thick enough skin to say something here that I think that a lot of people are going to disagree with me because they think she stood against the flag, forget about her. I just think that the freedom that we all enjoy has to be flexed in our country to understand that the things that make us free made Brittney Griner free in the same country to do the opposite of what I literally stand for. I think she missed an opportunity to use her platform for something better, but that doesn't mean that I have the right to stop her from doing that or the right to keep her from doing that. I do have the right to criticize her for that, which is the same right that she has used to speak her mind and to show the world what it is that she cares about the most or what it is that she believes. And if we can't believe things differently in our country, we don't have the country that we thought we did. I just think that you look at somebody like Brittney Griner and you want the First Amendment for you. I mean, I'm somebody who on this specific show here, I've never a single time been told what I have to say, what I can't say, what I need to talk about. Nobody provides me any of that information. What I do on a daily basis is a product of my mind and my amazing team's help. But what I say here frequently gets censored just because I say specific buzzwords, because there are people in charge partnering with powerful people in technology to control how you and I talk about basic level things. I'm fighting against that. I'm pushing back against that. I'm winning a battle here and there against that, and I'm losing them as well. But the idea that free speech needs to exist and that we need to get back to the place where we can openly say what we think and feel and vehemently disagree with one another, but still retain the right to have the conversation, I think that that's where America needs to get back to. I think that that is foundational to the United States returning to a place that really does honor, respect, and thrive in freedom and liberty. We've got a lot of people in power and government right now on both sides of the issues who want to control what can be said and how it can be said. And we have people in power right now in this administration who are employing the mechanisms to keep you from being able to talk about things that are important. I think Brittney Griner fits in that. How does she come home? Does she come home? Does she serve the 9 years that Russia sentenced her to in Russia? I don't know. But as far as the national conversation goes around this, she's an American and she enjoys the rights that Americans enjoy because they were given to her by God, whether she believes that or not. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll: should the United States work to bring the WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner home after being found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Yes or no? The question is, should the country bring her back? You go weigh in and let us know if you feel comfortable with it. Let us know in the comments why it is you believe the way you do, and we'll feature those responses with Hannah at 2:45. But when we come back, did you hear what Ron DeSantis did in Florida today? We're going to talk to Hans von Spakovsky about that and a few other things in just a minute. Don't go away. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner.
Wonder where the same time goes. The money too.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
We're all in the same boat. We all been kicked.
More people are landing on 97.1 FM Talk every day.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective.
That's the only station I listen to.
97.1 FM Talk, the place for ideas.
So I want to remind you that the Diamond Shop online at thediamondshop.net is continuing their clearance sale where you can get 70% off all in-stock jewelry until the end of August, up to 70% off. That is an amazing opportunity for you to make a purchase that maybe you want to turn around Christmas time or at Christmas time, maybe a birthday coming up. Go to the Diamond Shop and see the beautiful in-stock jewelry that they have. If you're somebody who's looking for something custom, nobody better in the business than the people at the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop has been in business since 1910. They know what they're doing. They are legacy when it comes to customer service, great value, but the very, very best selection in town. You know that buying jewelry requires you to go to somebody you trust. And if you don't have that person in your life yet, and you're not ready to make a purchase the first time you go in, still go visit them at the Diamond Shop. Just say, Andy told me to come here. I'm just browsing. They're going to help guide you on your path. They're going to learn your budget. They are going to work with you to make sure that they meet your needs when the time comes. Plus, become a VIP online at thediamondshop.net.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for another Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market losses this year? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
We've all done it or used to do it. Use the same passwords at work as we have for online shopping, Netflix, news sites, etc. But here's the problem. Those sites are often compromised, and those stored credentials are exposed, shared, and sold on the dark web. My hope is your users are not using the same work passwords for those sites as they use for work. But in reality, some of them are, because let's face it, remembering one password is a lot easier than remembering all of them. Hackers then use those passwords, guess the login, and voila, you get ransomware. This is how bad actors get into networks. Not by hacking their way through your firewall, but by buying usernames and passwords off the dark web. One of our favorite parlor tricks is telling someone their super secret password during a meeting. It looks like magic, but actually it's been exposed in some obscure website breach. The good news is Acropolis is here and we can help. I know IT isn't how most of you want to spend your day, but from one business owner to another, you need to feel comfortable that these areas are protected and in place now more than ever. If you aren't satisfied with what you find, we can help. Visit us on the web at acropolistech.com and let's start a conversation.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
I heard you crying loud all the way of the sound. You've been searching for that someone that is beyond the crowd.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Well, don't get lonely now. And try your white eyes.
The Constitution of Florida has vested the veto power in the governor, not in individual state attorneys. And so when you flagrantly violate your oath of office, when you make yourself above the law, you have violated your duty, you have neglected your duty, and you are displaying a lack of competence to be able to perform those duties. And so today we are suspending State Attorney Andrew Warren.
So Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, suspending a state's attorney and talking about how veto power is in the governor's office, not the state's attorney. Now, this is quite a shakeup in the world. We were just speaking yesterday with DeRoy Murdoch. And if you missed it, go listen to yesterday's podcast about George Soros and how he funds those DAs, one of which we have right here in Kim Gardner in St. Louis, and the type of community that it creates in the wake of these district attorneys or state's attorneys that don't prosecute crime. Florida just said, no, we're not doing that anymore. Can he do that? I suppose he can. Well, let's get a legal expert on. The legal expert, Hans von Spakovsky, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, also a DOJ lawyer and an author. Hans, thanks for coming on with us today. Great to have you back.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, when you heard the news about what Governor DeSantis did today, what was your reaction to his suspension of the state's attorney?
It was exactly the right thing to do, and he has complete and full authority to do this. Look, we have a democratic republic, and in our democratic republic, including in states like Florida, it's the legislature that makes the law. Prosecutors, their job is to enforce the law. They can't just, as the governor said, veto a statute and say, oh, you know that law passed by the legislature? Well, I'm just not going to enforce it. And that's exactly what Warren did. He said that he was not going to enforce laws on that prohibit abortion. He was not going to enforce state laws that prohibit transgender surgery on minors, and he can't do that. You know, if he thinks those laws are bad, then he needs to resign his job as a prosecutor and run either for governor or for the state legislature and try to change the law. But as a prosecutor, he can't do that. And unfortunately, not all states have this, but under the state constitution, the governor has the ability to suspend another county officer who fails to perform his duties. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, you know, I feel like this is the way moment. And I don't know, has nobody thought of this before, or is Ron DeSantis the first one to have the guts to do it?
Well, the problem is that a lot of governors don't have the power that he has to do that. I'll give you a quick example of this. Look, Virginia has had a similar problem. You know, we have these protesters at the personal homes of justices who live in Virginia, like Amy Coney Barrett. What they're doing in those neighborhoods violates Virginia law. But those justices, including Clarence Thomas and Amy Coney Barrett, live in Fairfax County, Virginia, where, well, the prosecutor in Fairfax County is another one of these rogue Soros prosecutors. And he has said that he's not going to enforce the law. Unfortunately, the governor can't suspend him because he doesn't have that authority under the Virginia Constitution. So DeSantis is lucky he's got the power to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that in St. Louis with our circuit attorney, Kim Gardner, I'm sure everybody's looking to Governor Parson in Missouri and going, what can you do about this? And I don't know what the state law says about it, but it certainly does set up a referendum, a very, very public, nationally public referendum on the way a lot of people have been looking at each other going, why is it that all of a sudden the law has become optional and subjective in certain places around the country? I mean, it really is the fabric of a society's demise if law and order isn't in place.
No, that's really true, because what are these prosecutors like Andrew Warren doing? They're undermining the rule of law. And also, by the way, they're wreaking havoc in their communities, because if you look at what has happened in these places where you have these rogue prosecutors who basically are refusing to prosecute criminals, is you've had this huge increase in violent crime rates. And that's happening everywhere you have these rogue prosecutors, San Francisco, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, you name it, and the crime rates are going up, and it's because the criminals see, well, this prosecutor doesn't want to enforce the law. They don't believe in criminals having to post bail so I can commit crimes and get right out again. And that's the result of the kind of prosecutors like this guy, Andrew Warren, down in Florida.
I want to ask you, Hans von Spakovsky, with us right now about what we've seen out of Mayor Eric Adams in New York City, somewhat in the same vein as what we heard from Florida. Eric Adams saying that the criminal justice system in New York City is insanity. And he's talking about how people who are committing assault, I mean, these are violent crimes that have victims who have been hurt by these people. And if you listen to Mayor Adams talk about this, he goes, they're being let out in days, if not hours. I mean, if the mayor of New York City is calling on this, is it possible there's a sea change coming in the way that we implement our justice system?
Yes, and you can see that in the fact that the general public is starting to realize what's happening, and that's why the rogue prosecutor in San Francisco was just successfully recalled. The rogue prosecutor in Baltimore just lost her bid for re-election. So, and by the way, you know, the prosecutor in Los Angeles, who's another one of these rogue prosecutors, they're in the process of trying to recall him too. So these prosecutors are one after another, fortunately, getting thrown out of office. So, like I said, the public is realizing just how terrible these folks are. By the way, I don't know if you saw, but George Soros actually had an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal this week defending what he's doing, but of course not really dealing with the fact that everywhere prosecutors have gotten in that he has sent huge amounts of money to, crime rates have soared.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, Hans. We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, DOJ lawyer and senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, because yesterday when we had this conversation with Roy Murdoch, he addressed this a little bit, but I'm curious about your thoughts as well. The question that we posed yesterday was, how does common sense fight back against the infinite amount of money that George Soros has? Do we need an infinite amount of money just fighting for the good guys to come in and push back against him? Or is there a bottom-up approach that could help as well?
Well, the bottom-up approach is that, look, the reason George Soros was successful with this was because for a long time, nobody paid any attention to these DA races. You know, the amount of money that was spent by DAs to get reelected was minuscule in comparison to other political races. And so when Soros came in, he just overwhelmed folks with the amount of money he was giving. But people now realize just how important these positions are to their safety and their everyday lives. And I think that's why you've seen successful campaigns in San Francisco, in Baltimore, and elsewhere to get rid of these really bad prosecutors. So they're overcoming the money advantage that Soros has given to these terrible prosecutors.
Have you found, Hans, that the people of these cities, these crime-ridden cities, I'll talk about Chicago here for a second. There's a Fox News headline here that says Mayor Lori Lightfoot says Chicago is making progress on crime despite continued violence and businesses leaving. I mean, so many people are reacting to the lack of attention to these issues. And anytime these politicians who are in charge of these cities get the opportunity to stand on a soapbox and talk about gun control, I mean, these cities already have the most strict gun control laws. It's where all the gun crime is happening because people are selling these guns, handguns, not ARs, not, fully automatic guns. They're selling Glocks on the street for $50 and committing crimes with them. Do the American people, do the voters, in your opinion, have they had enough of this yet to vote back against it, or is all that money going to be necessary to persuade them?
No, I think Americans understand what's going on. And the polling I see shows that the support among the public for their ownership of guns with which to defend themselves is very high, and it's one of the reasons is they're seeing this huge increase in crimes, and they know that calling the police and hoping they show up 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on where you are, isn't going to stop a crime in progress. And Americans realize they need to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah. Well, Hans, we appreciate you coming on with us and talking about this big news coming out of Florida with Governor Ron DeSantis suspending the state's attorney that refused to prosecute the crimes that were taking place there and getting some clarity on that. Thank you for being with us again, Hans. We always appreciate your time.
Well, I always like talking to you.
Thank you. It works out well. Check out his book. It's Our Broken Elections, How the Left Changed the Way You Vote. You can get it right now. And as we're in election season, probably a really, really good thing to pick up. Did you ever get through that yet?
I have not received a copy of that book yet. I have
working
to buy
on
it.
Yeah. It's a really good one, and I encourage you to pick it up. By Hans von Spakovsky, our friend there. H. von Spakovsky on Twitter. Coolest name in the business. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the second coolest name in the business, Ryan Wiggins. He's going to talk to us about the historic rainfall that we've experienced here over the last week. How bad was it? Well, he'll tell us when we come back. And your vote on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll and your comments, bring them in. We have a crowd over there on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Would love for you to join us. You can tell us, should the United States work to bring WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner home after being found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Yes or no? Your vote, and we'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
So go do what you like. Make sure you do it right.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Former State Senator Jeff Smith. I would think Eric Greitens' political career is over, but, he probably has one or two more comebacks left in him. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in some kind of right-wing media role.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Put it on your calendar for Thursday, August 11th. And I would love to meet you. I've seen people from the Annie Frey Show listening audience flood these retirement advisory group events. It's the Protecting Your Retirement educational event. And I've seen people show up that I know personally. And I've seen people who I've seen at other 97.1 and Annie Frey Show events in the past. I'd love to see you if you haven't shown up yet. It's a free event, and Mark Cox and Mark Reardon and myself will be there to introduce Thomas Helbig to you. He doesn't take your whole evening up. It's usually about 45 minutes of your time. There are snacks and drinks and a really nice setup at the Frontenac Hilton. Thursday, August 11th. The event starts at 6:30 p.m. I get there at about 6 o'clock and try to meet as many people as I can between 6 and 6:30, along with Mark Cox and Mark Reardon. And we have a good time. You are going to enjoy yourself. Like I said, the whole thing's free. You do need to reserve your spot, though. Give them a call. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you go to reserve your spot. You can find them online at retirementkey.com.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800. windowworld.com.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Ever wonder what it's like to play in an MLB game? Play Loud is your exclusive look into the fun of the game as we mic up the league's biggest stars and follow them with dedicated cameras both on and off the field. Watch game time reactions to some of the biggest plays and follow your favorite players as they chat in the dugout with their teammates between innings. You never know what you're going to see or hear. It's baseball like you've never watched before. Tune in for new episodes of Play Loud, only on the MLB YouTube channel.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Oh, Hannah.
Perfect type to wear a date.
She gets all the credit for this.
I like it.
There's cleverness happening on this show, and I didn't have anything to do with it. I love it.
It means you got a good team.
I have the best team.
And it's not me.
The best team in St. Louis talk radio.
Certainly in middays at 97.1.
Stop qualifying. We're the best.
We're the best.
We're the best. If we don't think so, then what are we doing? You've got some local stuff, local flair today on Wiggins America.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins. Yeah, Wiggins America covers all aspects of America. We look at big, broad things and social movements. We also look at hyper-local things.
You say we like it's more than you.
I know. Isn't that great?
That's one of my pet peeves on the internet. Like when you know one person, it like there's a business or a thing that's a one-person show. And they're like, we are so excited. I'm like, you are so excited. I will be excited with you. I'm not opposed to your excitement for said thing. But there's this social media talk that includes the understanding that a social media account just speaks for people.
They use the Queen's we.
Yeah.
The royal we.
I don't like that.
I do it all the time on my weekend show because I have to. Because if I don't, the problem is I don't even have a producer. So I have to make the show sound like it's a little bit bigger than it is. And that's only fair.
You should get a brass band. Just randomly.
Yeah.
In
the
there.
Glenn Miller band.
I should bring in a full band. The problem is that all falls on me again as the producer to
smoke and mirrors,
make happen.
Dude. You just have to, or just get Carl to play some brass.
Carl, whoever's in the lobby, can you come in? I need a team.
Yeah, Barbara's out there. She can do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that.
Make it happen.
So looking at it's got hyper local news. I mean, it involves Kentucky too because we're talking about some of this flooding.
Is
and
this
stuff.
about your basement?
Yeah, this is hyper local news.
Hyper local.
We're discussing my basement.
Ryan
we're looking
has
for a
already had his
foundation.
basement attended to once and potentially needs to have it attended to again.
You know what? We had it. That's the thing about the rain from last week, not necessarily this one, is that it was once in a generation rain.
Yeah.
And it really was. And looking at the stats, that bears out because the last time we had that much rain in 24 hours in St. Louis was actually, it might be just a record throughout the United States. We might have broken a United States record because we're talking about a hurricane from Galveston here from 1915 that we broke the record from.
I remember that was terrible.
Oh gosh, wasn't it?
Nasty stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, once in a generation, right? And you talk about 1915, you talk about different time. I mean, we were all, dancing the Charleston.
And not
you can't make two Charleston references in 1 week
Yes,
when
I
you
can.
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, I can. Hands on the knees. and we were all flapping and flapping.
This is Wiggins, America.
Yeah. So anyway, it was historic. 8 inches of rainfall last week, and yeah, it kind of affected my basement. I thought we had it fixed, but maybe once in a generation we can maybe just chalk it up to that. So hopefully it'll be okay. This last rain, St. Louis avoided, I think, the worst of it, because I was looking at the stats from last week, and 8 inches of rainfall in 24 hours, or even really it was within about 7 hours that we got most of it. That does break records. They say the epicenter of that rainfall outside of Kentucky, which Kentucky had some different issues than we did just because of the landscape, but they say it was actually St. Peter's got the worst flooding last week. So that's obviously very close to here. And most people listening, a lot of people listening probably live in St. Peter's and are dealing with that still today. So we all are in this boat together, no pun intended. But this
pun intended.
I know I didn't walk into that and go, you know what? I got a great pun I want to use and say we're all in this boat together.
You did this whole segment so you could say we're all in the same boat together and reference the Charleston.
The first part's true. I did not expect the Ritz, but I enjoyed that. I had to bring the Charleston into it. So this week, though, and yesterday, 8 inches of rainfall is a whole lot in 7 hours. This one, the epicenter was a town called Newton, Illinois.
Oh yeah, I know people from Newton.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
So it's pretty close to Effingham. Was the biggest city I could find near there.
Yeah.
Off of Highway 70. We broadcast probably out to about Vandalia if we're lucky, Pocahontas if we're not, depending on the day. But
I know people in Pocahontas too.
Well, yeah, Pocahontas is a great town. And Gretchen Wilson, right? That's their claim to fame. And the Powhatan restaurant is their also claim to fame, which is great. But along I-70, if you keep traveling toward, it kind of goes north and east from here, and Newton is just about due east from here. Yesterday alone in Newton, Illinois, 14 inches of rain.
Yesterday.
Holy
smokes.
In a 12-hour period, Tuesday, August 2nd. That is what, I say yesterday, but it was mostly on Tuesday.
I didn't even flinch.
That's what the National Weather Service showed. So we're talking about a little town there. I think they've got a Dairy Queen, but they're big enough for that. And they are.
You just need a bar and a post
swimming.
office and a church.
Exactly. And most towns, man, a lot of towns' post offices have been closed because of the last 10 years of government cuts on little towns. But they keep calling us. Now, I looked at a lot of records and articles about this. They keep calling this 1,000-year rain. And there's a lot of articles that are discussing this in terms of climate change and saying, well, we're getting 1 or 2 1,000-year rains within a short period of time because of climate change, because of trapping more heat in the air and it's causing more rainfall. I keep looking at this, though, going, show me the statistics to tell me that that this is the only time that 3 of these have happened within the last 1,000 years. Because as far as I can tell, your records go back about 50 years.
Right.
So I'm sure there's some science to this, and I am reading about it, but it's just you're watching it being parroted over and over and over. Oh, it's 1,000-year rain because we're having them so frequently. Well, you don't know these happen every 1,000 years. You were not alive in 1,000.
I was alive in 93.
Well, we were all alive in 1915, apparently, too.
Yeah. I was alive in 93, and I watched towns get washed away, and there was a lot of rain in that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of a side story. But
if you tune into the Andy Frey YouTube live show right now, you can see people dancing the Charleston. I won't tell you which. Not you. You're on the show.
Yeah,
Ryan.
keep doing Wiggins
I
America
see
stuff.
it.
No.
Okay.
Watch the. No.
I'm not watching it.
Yes, you are.
Look
Put your hands up. Hands up. Keep your hands.
Look at my hands.
Keep your hands
That was a purely visual joke.
I was just going to say, this is just compelling radio.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
look at this. Watch my face. Check my hands. See what my feet can do.
Did you guys deal with any water issues at all? I think there's a lot of chatter about this, which is why I wanted to bring it up, because it's kind of water cooler stuff that everybody's talking about.
We need to, at my house, I posted a picture about this maybe a couple weeks ago. We have trees sprouting out of our gutters in the back, and we have been replacing the deck on the back of our house, and I think it's almost done. If it's not done, I'm not 100% sure. But I was sitting on the back deck and I looked up and I noticed it. We haven't really been able to have access, at least from the ground level, with a walkout that's like a 3-story drop.
Yeah, if it's way up, it's hard to clean.
I don't want my husband up there. So he called somebody to have them come out and check those gutters. But you can tell when you have those downpours of rain how the water just skips right over the side. Like the gutter's just an extension of the roof. And you can see, that's, from what I understand, really, really bad for your foundation. So we're working on getting out the back of our house, you just see a sheet of rain just pouring like a waterfall when it's torrential.
It's bad for the foundation, but it's good for the environment. You've created an entirely new ecosystem within your gutters.
Probably in my foundation also, which is not the environment that I'm trying to.
She's like, that's my ecosystem.
Yeah, that's mine. And my ecosystem doesn't want water where it doesn't belong.
Our problem is that we got the water was coming in our windows, so it wasn't the foundation. So anytime it rains, now though, I'm so trained that if I hear thunder to just wake up and stand up and check the windows.
Panic.
Yeah. That even though I think we've probably mostly solved the problem, and I was getting to the point where I was training myself out of it, now I hear it. And that one time when we had it last week where it still was a problem, even though it was once in a generation, now I keep going, what if it's once in a generation again?
The house that we used to live in, Hamel, Illinois, had water issues in the basement. And the people who owned it previously, Woods Basement Systems, had come out and done stuff to it, but it needs to be maintained every certain amount of time. I don't remember what it was because we haven't lived there for a long time. But and we had gigantic, maybe the biggest trees in Hamel, and Hamel's tiny. So it's not like there's a whole lot of competition there, but it's an old town. And we had gigantic trees in our yard. And the one that was right behind our house, every storm that hit, a little piece of that thing would come off. And you'd look at it and you're like, that thing could level the whole, it could go, depending on how that thing falls. We didn't think it would fall into the house, but every time there'd be a strong storm, I would get that gut feeling of, oh no, like just panic and a forlornness that is knowing what's about to happen. And we've been out of that house for 7 years now. And every once in a while, if I'm away from the house and it starts to storm, I panic a little bit about that. And I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about that right
You're trained.
So because it's so stressful.
And I'm sure a lot of people, whether you're in St. Peter's or elsewhere in the St. Louis area, are dealing with that anxiety right now, because that's what yesterday, if you heard, okay, it's getting ready to downpour again and it's doing it all night, man, everybody goes, oh, great. What's this going to look like? Even if you haven't gotten water yet, you're going, but is this the time? Or if you have it all, you're like, oh, well, here we go again. Why not even, you're throwing buckets over the side and you're going, but there's a hole in the boat. Why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of dealing with it.
People on the Annie Frey live chat are saying, if I have trees growing out of my gutter, do I call a tree person or a gutter person? Maybe both.
I think you probably start with the gutter first.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
See if you can save some trees.
We've had some people contacted to come give us a quote or whatever, because it's going to need some work. It hasn't been worked on. I suck that way. It just is what it is. Plus, it was in the back. I didn't know.
Plus, it's way up there.
It's way up there. Yeah. All right. Stick around. We're going to speak with Tyrus with a big announcement when we come back right here. Don't go away.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call Attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brittney Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brittney at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrittneyVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brittney Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brittney Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brittney. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brittney Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrittneyVision.com.
Oh, Adam, you are so romantic. And I love the kitchen you found with all these great crumbs.
Yeah, baby, only the finest crumbs in the kitchen for my favorite aunt.
Did I just hear a car door slam?
Oh no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the move.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
She's hoping it doesn't end her life. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's what American basketball star Brittney Griner told a Russian court today just before being convicted on drug charges and sentenced to 9 years in prison. She had pleaded guilty.
I understand everything that's being said against me, the charges that are against me, and that is why I pled guilty. But I had no intent to break any Russian law.
Griner says she had packed in haste and mistakenly brought cannabis oil and vape cartridges into the country. President Biden reiterating his call for Russia to immediately release Griner and fellow American detainee Paul Whelan as Russia considers a reported U.S. offer of a prisoner swap. A U.S. airman is being charged for an explosion that injured American troops at a base in Syria.
The Air Force is charging David Deswan Jr. with multiple counts, including aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and dereliction of duty. Military investigators say Deswan's role in the early April explosion at a Syrian base that left 4 soldiers with possible post-traumatic brain injuries was a deliberate act. It was originally thought that the injuries were the result of indirect artillery fire.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Deswan has been in Air Force custody since June. A preliminary hearing now set for later this month. Members of Breonna Taylor's family are celebrating new federal charges in her death, months after the only officer charged in the case was acquitted on state counts over the deadly botched raid in Kentucky.
We say her name.
Breonna Taylor!
Say her name.
Breonna! Family attorney Benjamin Crump calling it a day of equal justice for Black women in America. The Justice Department charging 4 current and former Louisville officers with a variety of civil rights violations, including use of excessive force. America is listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Still the chance of a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms going through the afternoon, but nothing widespread, and I don't see anything severe. 88 for the high. The humidity is still in place. Tonight, partly cloudy and steamy, 72. Friday, partly sunny, humid, 88 degrees, just a slight chance of a spot thunderstorm on Friday. Partly sunny and 92 in spot storms Saturday and Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
If it's happening right here, right now.
This election can change the course of the country and save our republic.
Sometimes we have to practice patience.
By defeating Trudy Bush Valentine in November, the road to retaking the majority in the U.S. Senate runs right through Missouri.
Doesn't always work on our timeline, but it does work on his.
Tonight's victory is a validation of our message.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Hello, this is Dave Walker, former Comptroller General of the United States. The federal government has grown dramatically, promised too much, lost control of its budget, and must restructure its finances in order to create a better future.
I agree, Dave. This is Ken Heisey from Heisey Advisory Group, and you're invited to a special event on Thursday, August 25th. Dave and I will talk about our country's financial issues and how they may impact your retirement. Learn why it's critical to take action now and discover strategies that can help protect your future. If you've saved at least $750,000 for retirement, call 314-328-6000 to register for this special event. After a decades-long mission to promote fiscal responsibility at all levels of government, you won't want to miss what Dave has to say. Call 314-328-6000.
Dave Walker is not affiliated with and does not endorse Heisey Advisory Group or AE Wealth Management, LLC. Heisey Advisory Group may not provide tax advice and is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
Before you begin digging your next outdoor project, save time and be safe by calling 811. Mark your project area with a water-soluble white paint or white flags to let utility locators know the location. Get more tips from Mango at mosafegas.com.
Mark Cox here. In life, there are good surprises and bad surprises. I caught one of the bad surprises the other day after we locked our keys in our truck while on vacation. The good news is I have a CarShield protection plan. Every protection plan includes coast-to-coast roadside assistance at no extra cost. One phone call, and before long, I was back in the truck and we were on our way. That's fantastic. You're going to love CarShield. They offer protection plans for around $100 a month that cover more parts than ever before. When you need a repair, you don't have to deal with the paperwork or the headaches. All you have to do is choose the mechanic to do the work. CarShield administrators handle the rest. Now, CarShield helps make the surprise of your car breaking down easier to handle. Get coverage like I did. Go to carshield.com/Cox or call 800-391-8888 to save 10% on your plan. That's carshield.com/Cox.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
There are many ways to listen. Most choose radio. But have you tried streaming? Download the Odyssey app and you can stream 97.1 with one touch. Or try it touchless by telling your smart speaker to play it.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thank you for being here with us today. Important that you check out that Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. It's up today. We've got a lot of traction on it so far. We want to make sure we get your thoughts, your vote, and your comment, if you so choose, in the live chat. Here's the poll question, and I need to know what you think. Should the United States work to bring WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner home after being found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Should the country work to bring her home? Yes or no? And if you have thoughts on that, I've been seeing a lot of them come through here on the live chat. Would love to know what you think about it. And I want to know what our friend Tyrus thinks about it.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Tyrus, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Glad that you're here with us, of course.
Always a pleasure.
So I got to ask you, we've got some business to attend to, but I'm going to set that aside for just a second because I want to.
I'm excited about the Red Sox trades too.
The Red Sox trades. Wait a second. Who did they trade? Did they trade somebody big?
Stop it.
The Cardinals didn't either. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about baseball when you come to St. Louis, and we'll talk about you coming to St. Louis here in just a minute. Do you think Brittney Griner deserves to be the American government's business to bring her home?
Selfishly, I would say yes, just because I don't want to see any American in a Russian jail. But and I'll just leave it at that. If the American government didn't, I couldn't be mad at them for that because it's not like she didn't do something. You know, if that was me and I did that, I don't know if there'd be a huge outcry to bring me home. But it's not about what it is. But it does make me think, though, what about the Americans here who are sitting in jails with years stacked on them for the same similar things as far as like marijuana goes? You know, I feel like we need to make up our mind in this country. If we're going to fight to get somebody arrested for a crime that if they're arrested here for in certain states would have similar sentences, we got to kind of we got to make up our mind up. We got to federalize it. But the 9 years is stiff. I mean, that's tough. But there's a reason for that. And this is why you don't do those things when you go to other countries. Your passport does not protect you. We take our rights here in America for granted. We say things, we slander our government, we say whatever we want to because that's what it is to be an American. We break laws, and sometimes we can use our influence, and sometimes we can use money to get trials stayed and stuff, but that's not how it is in other countries. And we're all seeing this, how much a small mistake can be a huge mistake in a different place, especially given the climate of the world today. So as a person, I don't want to see anybody sit 10 years in a Russian prison, but the government, as far as making it a top priority, I don't know about that.
We are speaking with Tyrus. He's the author of Just Tyrus, a memoir, which I just finished this week. And Tyrus is also a Fox News contributor. You see him on Gutfeld quite frequently. I look at what the conversation is around Brittney Griner, and it's kind of a multi-bucket conversation because there's what the United States government should do to bring her home and what the United States government should absolutely not do to bring her home. And then there's who she was on American soil with the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy here. And I think Brittney Griner, and I said this at the beginning of my show, and I'm saying it again here. I know that this is likely not popular with the majority of my audience, but I'm saying what I'm saying. So everybody just sit tight. I think that the things that she said when she was here, while I don't agree with them, as conservatives now more than ever, we have to stand up for people, no pun intended, who are willing to say things that we disagree with. We have to be willing to support their right to do it because there's nobody who's more under attack as far as speech goes and vocabulary and language in the United States than people who openly espouse conservative thoughts.
Yes, as a accused toxic, misogynistic, white supremacist mansplainer, I couldn't agree with you more. So I like I said, the whole point is not about your freedom of speech as long as you agree with me. Freedom of speech is just that we seem to forget the dialogue part, the debate part. It's more become, if you don't think my way, you're evil, you're all these horrible things, so I don't have to talk to you, and I'm in absolutes. And that's not us doing that. That's not the conservatives doing that. And so I think you're 1,000% right. And anybody who, let's just be real, anybody who says like, oh, the hell with her, that's their right. And they have a right to do that. And they have a certain, she broke a law. She brought drugs in the country. It was a stupid thing to do. So why are we spending all this time and energy trying to help her? Because that's what Americans do. That's the American way. So hopefully if one of us are in that situation, the government will be doing the same thing, but let's not forget about the Marine who's been there for quite some time. And this is the closest he's even heard about being able to come home.
That's another thing too, Tyrus, because I'm wondering if Brittney Griner was Brittany Smith from Fenton, Missouri, and she was a nobody and she was there. Would Russia use this as the ultimate flex against a weak, at least publicly weak United States? I mean, if I'm her, I'm thinking I was the wrong person in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong stuff, like a flurry of bad circumstances where Russia now gets to use this as a play against the United States.
Well, this is also what this administration is. They're the woke progressive administration. So their own dialogue and attacks against all of us would come back to haunt them if they weren't protecting or rescuing Brittney because of the boxes that she checks according to what they feel as being persecuted and not represented in the United States. And here is an example where they're telling that this is what they want to make sure that everyone who is different or whatever, however you define what different is protected and taken care of. So they kind of have a responsibility to, according to their agenda and the messaging that they put out there. So how ridiculous would they look when they're trying to end people's careers and lives on social media for having a comment or saying, I don't want it in my household, or I don't want to talk about it, having a difference of opinion, a respectful difference of an opinion, mind you. And here they are saying how that this is how the world should be. And here's a prime example. Okay, well, put your money where your mouth is. So I think that's kind of why, if they didn't have this agenda, if they weren't pushing this down as using to call people like me that are wrong with the world because I have an opinion, if they didn't have all that caveat or all that stuff that they've actually gotten ground with, I think they probably wouldn't be doing anything for her. I'm just going to say it. If she was white from Wisconsin, she'd be sitting there.
Yeah, I think it's a really complicated, perfect storm of a whole lot of interesting, different areas of the political conversation, the social conversation that have taken place in the United States over the last even 10 years coming together. And I see a lot of people react with their emotions immediately and then maybe react with some senses. Sometimes there's not a conflict there, but love getting your take on it.
On the record, I would like her to be home. I'd like the Marine to be home. If there's a punishment to be served, let them serve it in America, it just so be it. But again, we have to also look at this as an opportunity. If we're willing to fight for her to have her freedom when she's been arrested on a marijuana charge, then there's quite a few individuals who are dealing with same things in this country that we should start looking at differently if we're going to do it that way. I mean, it has to be, all I ask for is consistency. And I don't know, sometimes that's too much to ask when they change the definition of everything all the time, but
for sure.
Consistency.
So, Tyrus, I want to talk about your visit to St. Louis because there's a ton of buzz here in St. Louis about you coming here to wrestle the end of August. We have the event Friday. Me and you going to be at the Wildy Theater in Edwardsville. That thing sold out.
Me one, no punches, no holds barred, going at it. Hopefully I come out of that unscathed because I've seen your posse. It is deep. Like when I said I'd fight you and your whole family, I didn't realize the entire state. So,
people say I have dozens of kids. In fact, it's just 4, but we do roll pretty thick. So we're going to be. I didn't even really have a chance to talk about that too much on the air because it freaking sold out in 48 hours.
Yeah, you literally were like, "Hey, how can I help?" And I'm like, "Sold out," and you were like, "What?"
You talked about it last Thursday. We mentioned it on that show Thursday and Friday. You were talking about it on your social media. It's sold out. So you have more things coming down the line. And we on the Annie Frey Show are going to be giving away 4 packs of tickets all next week to your NWA appearance here in St. Louis. I'm so excited to be able to give some tickets away to people who couldn't get into this event. But I want you real quick to explain your list of activities as they continue to mount up when you're in St. Louis at the end of August.
We're also still building, and I know you and I are working on trying to get with some local charities and see if we can get some help for the, because we've had some bad weather in the area, and that was another thing that I was shocked and so humbled by how fast the tickets went when some people were literally putting buckets out their doorstep and worried about flooding and stuff. So I'm looking at it where it's a week for me to give back and work hard and see if we can do some things for the people, and at the same time give everybody a break. So we're going to laugh and have some fun on Friday night, Saturday. That's another thing. I guess I got you in the air, so I'll put you on the spot. I'm going to talk to Billy Corgan, who's the owner, president, or whatever you want to call it, Mr. Smashing Pumpkins, about maybe a sit down in the ring with you, me, and Trevor Murdoch on Saturday, possibly an interview. Hey, you're in the ring.
You got that'd be my first time at a ring or in a ring, and I can't wait for it. Except for, I've never told you this, Tyrus, but my training, I used to, and I'm working on getting back, I used to train boxing and Muay Thai. So I know just a little bit about that.
I always love it. Whenever I mention wrestling ring, people always want to drop their fight resume. And please, please, you need to be the adult in the room. It's no fighting.
I've never actually fought anybody in a ring, so maybe this could be my chance.
Yeah, there you go. Just hit him. Don't hit me.
Fair.
The interview next week, and when it's over, and the next Thursday is going to be awkward.
That's the one that everybody will tune into, though. So that works.
And then Saturday Sunday night's the big one, August 28th. It's me versus my cousin Trevor Murdoch, and he's from St. Louis. So, and I know he's getting nervous because he's afraid that he's going to be on the road at home. And I am telling him, when I'm putting hands on you, I've agreed that there will be absolutely no outside interference. It'll just be me and him one-on-one, and we'll let the people of St. Louis figure it out. But we're going to do our part, and it is what probably could be the greatest night of my career, because I have an opportunity to make history, to be the first world television champion and NWA champion. It's never been done. So I'm excited about that. And for him, he just, as he liked to call it, he just sent Mr. Big Times behind back to TV land. So there's it's starting to get ugly. It's starting to get uncomfortable, but I'm coming in early. I think we're going to try to work on maybe some kind of charity lunch. We're working on things. I'm there to roll my sleeves up, do my part, and if everyone can be there for me Sunday night, I would appreciate it. And we're going to make this happen, and hopefully do something where we start doing an annually thing. I know the venue was so happy; they're already asking us maybe to come back in December. So we're just going to keep. I might have to start looking around. You guys got baseball there. You got the mediocre. But
yeah, we do. Now you are going to fight me. We will fight. I'll be wearing my Cardinals hat when we do, for sure.
I'll bring a Red Sox hat, so I should win.
I need to know. I need the world to know, what size hat do you wear?
Size 8.
Okay, written it down. I thought my family had big heads, but of course. All right.
It's in proportion. Right?
Yeah, it fits. It works.
7.5, but you're all 5'4". That's a big head.
True. It's all about proportion. Of course it is. Well, Tyrus, next. Go ahead.
One thing, when I'm walking around the town, I usually do a little jogging to get loose in the morning. It is not a Sasquatch sighting. It is just me in St. Louis, so I don't this stuff. Okay, nobody take a shot at me out there. Not okay.
Have you heard of St. Louis? We're not afraid of much.
I know. I don't feel like being tied on the back of somebody's bumper saying, "Look what I caught," and then we go, "Well, that's Tyrus."
Hey, folks, follow Tyrus on Twitter at Planet Tyrus. On Instagram, is it Tyrus Smash? I think on Instagram.
Smash, yes, and Twitter's Planet Tyrus, and you can get your tickets. You can hit up my link T. You don't want to wait to get tickets now. I think we're going to sell out here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And of course, you can always do nwatickets.com. But again, thank you so much. Can't wait to get this together. And here we come.
And thank you for the Gutfeld shout out. I tell you what, there are a lot of people in my orbit that last night were messaging me at about 11 o'clock our time going, "Holy crap, Annie, you were just on Gutfeld." So the Gutfeld crew rolls deep here too.
Operation Annie Fry the Guest is next.
Oh,
so that's
fell off my chair. Let me get back up here. I won't fight you. This has been a roller coaster interview, but I am always glad when you're on the show with us, Tyrus. Thanks so much. And we're going to keep people updated on everything that's happening at the end of August. Keep it right here on 97.1 and make sure you follow Tyrus as well on his social media to stay updated. Tyrus, we'll talk to you again next week.
Always a pleasure.
See you soon. Bye-bye. At Planet Tyrus on Twitter, at Tyrus Smash on Instagram. And literally last night at the end of Gutfeld, there's Annie Frey's mug up there with the Annie Frey Show logo. Hey, look, Ma, I made it, I guess. I texted my mom and said, hey, Mom, watch Gutfeld tonight. And I got a response that says, we've been out of internet all day. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. Did you guys lose power yesterday? You guys got more rain in the O'Fallon area, I think, than we did.
We did not. Fortunately, my area, my location doesn't really lose power all that often.
Oh, fancy. All those fancy people in your gated community.
No, I don't think it's a gated community. I think that when they built our community, they buried the power lines.
Smart move.
Yeah.
We did have a power surge, but so if you had power out, I hope everybody's gotten it back on by now, of course. But we will share with you the Gutfeld hit that Tyrus promoted us last night on the Gutfeld Show, which is top-rated nighttime show. It's so cool. And his event here, please, if you have any interest in wrestling or meeting Tyrus, get those NWA tickets. He's super excited about coming here, and I'm super excited about hosting him and getting him to meet the best people in radio. That's you, the listener. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. This is a place for people to come together. Right here, right now. Make your voice heard. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Looking to build a home in the Metro East? Well, I want to introduce you to the best in the business of home building. C.A. Jones, these people, first of all, great human beings. I think that's really important. It's certainly important for me when I am investing and learning and building the relationship with people who I bring on here to recommend to you. CAJonesinc.com, CAJonesinc.com. That's a website you go to see the beautiful, affordable homes that you can have in the Metro East. They even have some homes that are built that you could buy right now. If you talk to them about your needs, they have a whole bunch of different layouts that you can peruse on their website, CAJonesinc.com, and see how they can meet your needs, whether you want a ranch only or you want a 2-story walkout basement, 3 beds, 4 beds, 1-car garage, 3-car garage. You talk to them about what you need. They're going to be able to show you the home that fits those needs. And then when you get to go pick out the customizations to finish it so that it is unique to you, you're going to be able to do that. Go to the people who invest in their communities, who build in your community, and who want to make your dream house a home for you. CAJonesinc.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for another Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market losses this year? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk. And in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcasts on Odyssey.com and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is registered representative. Securities offered through DH Hill Securities, LLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
This was all you, none of it me. You put your hands on my body and told me.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
For the big jump, I'd be your last love, everlasting you and me. That was what you told me. I'm giving you up, I'm forgiving it all. You set me free. Send my love to your new lover. Treat her better. We gotta let go of all of our goals. We both know we ain't kids no more. Send my love to your new lover. Treat her
What is happening? Oh, it's a roller coaster of a.
Oh, man.
Ryan and I have conversations the last 5 minutes where we just go back and forth, and he says something, and I go, "What?" And I say something, and he goes, "Huh?"
You could cut it apart, and
It's
it would look like
unbelievable.
two different conversations were happening.
People are probably watching on the live stream right now going, "Why are they yelling at each other like that?"
You know what was so funny about that? When the funniest part of that Tyrus interview, I started laughing out loud in my office when he said it. And it's probably something that wasn't even fully intended. But I mean, he's a funny guy, so I'm sure he kind of halfway intended it. But you said, "What's your hat size?" And I'm here all the time. So I'm thinking,
I know, all the time.
So I'm thinking, well, what would I say in this circumstance? And you take it into comedic areas. And he just goes, 8. Like the funniest answer was a full factual stop. What's your hat size? 8.
Where do I
That's
get it? Can I go into a store and buy a size 8 Cardinal hat for him? Because I want to buy him a hat.
Absolutely.
8.
Yep.
Yeah. And you'll never forget his size now.
Nope.
You got to put it on your head one time though.
He's
just to see.
6'7" or something like that. I mean, he's huge.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what he wants to make sure everybody on the radio understands. He wears a size 8 hat, but it is proportional. Which is, if you don't know how big Tyrus is, I had somebody else message the show. Didn't know Tyrus outside of specifically his hits on this show. Loves Tyrus,
That's cool.
which is the way everybody, like, I get so much feedback on his hits with us because he doesn't say what everybody else says. Brad, you can attest to this. I filter out a lot of people who we can have on the show,
right?
Because I already know everything that's going to be said.
Yes.
And where we might, if we're going to have, and I would love your feedback on this too. So if you're watching and listening on the live chat or whatever, you can jump in here and comment and feedback and constructively criticize. My skin is pretty thick. I would rather not have a show that has 4 and 5 guests if 2 of those guests or even 3 of those guests are going to say all the things that we would say in this room. Give me somebody who has access and expertise that I don't have. There is so much out there to be an expert on that I am not an expert on, like, say, music.
For instance.
Easy.
What?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yesterday. Fleetwood Mac. Man, I made a bunch of Fleetwood Mac references in one segment. And what'd you catch? About 50% of them? if that.
How many did you make? I don't even know how many you made.
Okay.
I
you
know
maybe
the
got
chain was
10%
in
of them.
there. or-
Lindsey Buckingham. Who is she?
Yes, that was the best, man.
Was that off air?
No, that was on air.
Oh.
And right afterwards, I said, "And are you familiar with the work of Stevie Nicks? Because he is a great singer."
I know who Stevie Nicks
Okay.
is.
I had to get credit for that joke again because that was pretty good.
Everybody loves the joke the second time.
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
who told it thought
Yeah.
it was great. Every time they say it the second time, everybody loves that.
Yeah, I know. I'll do it again tomorrow just to be sure. No, I won't be here tomorrow.
So last night, Tyrus mentioned the Annie Frey show on Gutfeld. Did you see that yet? Did you see the picture?
I've seen screenshots of various things. I don't know if I saw that one because you were on Fox and Friends this weekend.
Yeah.
He put out a ad for this event too, which I think I saw, but I don't know if I saw the Gutfeld thing.
He's sitting in his chair. That was one thing. I think that's something I'm going to ask him on when he's in St. Louis is if he does have a special chair. I think on the Gutfeld set, he sits in a normal person chair, but on Gutfeld on the weekends, I think he used to have like a
recliner,
a big man's reclining chair that was specific to him. But I'm going to ask him if he and Kat Timpf sit in the same chair. Like Kat is teeny tiny. Someone said, why don't we have Kat Timpf on the show? We have had her on the show. I think she's been on the show. I know she's been on the show before, but we could absolutely have her on again. That would be fun. Jackie on YouTube says, I was laughing in the car yesterday about Fleetwood Mac. I would have been laughing if I would have gotten the jokes. Sorry.
Yeah, they were all way over Annie's head.
I mean, when you put it like that.
I shoot high. You know I do.
Yeah, look at this.
My standards are
This
super.
is from- Don't drop my phone. That's from Tyrus's Instagram. So, but that screenshot is what it looked like on Fox last
Yeah,
night.
I saw the graphic. I don't think I saw this part of it though.
So that's just probably a screenshot, not the video. And then, so you mentioned that I was on Fox and Friends on Sunday. That was super exciting. Brad met me at Popeyes in Collinsville and drove me because we had to go super early in the morning. That was cool. And then we go to the Eric Schmidt. You don't have. Thanks. It was not dangerous. We go to the Eric Schmidt watch party. Got an invitation to go there. Was excited to participate in that. I was really excited to bring Brad and Hannah along to that because they're still pretty new to the ways of how these things go. You were here in September.
Mhm.
I think she started working on the show in October. Hannah, is that right? You can comment in the live chat or you can come in here, whatever. So you haven't really been around for Election Palooza. It is a different thing. When we are in an election year, I know for the entire year I'm gonna be busier. So getting to go to this and being able to accept the invitation, super excited. We are there. I even said to Hannah and Brad, like, just know that whenever you're out here, there are cameras, national cameras back here, local cameras from across the state. No, like if regardless of how you personally do or don't support Eric Schmidt or any other candidate that might be in any other room that you're in, understand that you will probably be photographed with them, behind them, in the proximity of them, and then that can be used in the future.
Mm-hmm. Like Jeffrey Epstein photos.
Yeah.
Well, not quite. Probably not quite a leap there, but
So we are at the event, and Hannah was adamant about getting the best shot for the video that she took, which is exactly what she did at the Trump event.
Mhm.
And she is batting 500 because this time she got it and didn't get kicked out.
Yep.
I told Brad, I said, I'm going to look for somebody in a fancy suit before we saw Hannah. I want to pay somebody in a fancy suit and just give them like earbuds out of my car to put like up their neck and around their ear to kick Hannah out.
Just escort her out.
Like, you gotta be kidding me.
I don't know who kicked me out, but he was wearing sunglasses. He had earbuds.
Yeah, like
okay, must
my
have been official.
sunglasses and my earbuds.
Yeah.
I did follow up with Brad, like, I would never do that to Hannah, but I would do that to my kids.
And I would fall for it.
Oh man, I'm
you
sorry,
know I
guys.
would. Some guy just in a normal t-shirt wearing sunglasses. Oh, you're the boss.
Hannah did not
Got earbuds in.
She did not get kicked out. She worked her way into a position to get great footage of the event. We also wanted to potentially be able, depending on how things shook out, we didn't know how it was going to work, to be able to transmit it back to the station since you guys were doing fantastic election night coverage here. And then at the end, he got done with his speech. He took some, posed with the music. It fades up and people are cheering because everybody's super excited because all the people who we were with are people who supported getting him past the primary. He comes off the stage and starts shaking hands.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the third person he shakes hands with? Me. because I'm standing right there. And I was kind of surprised. And he's doing the thing. I recognize this. I know how this works. If you're in a crowd of people, I've done parades before, you're shaking hands. People are saying really kind things. And you want to make sure that you are returning the kindness that you're receiving because you're grateful for those people. So you're like, I'm going down the line and it's Joe Smith and Bob Matthews and, just go in line, just people. And then you get to somebody who you know personally, and you're not like expecting to see the person whose face you recognize. You're just kind of. So Eric Schmidt sees me and he does that to me. He's like, oh, hey. And then I go, oh, hey. And then
I like how you reacted.
And then the Post-Dispatch took a picture of me and put it in the paper.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes,
going,
they did.
oh, hey, with my eyes bugging out of my face. It is, anybody in this room, probably anybody in the station can attest to how picky I am about photos that are taken of me.
Understatement. I don't know that
Boys?
picky is the right word.
No, Annie. Yeah, true story. Yesterday, I saw that before you, right? Because I tweeted
You
it.
said so. You tweeted it?
Well, okay, that's part of the story. Is that I saw that from the Post-Dispatch, Joe Holloman, and I went, oh, that's Annie in the picture. And I looked at the article to see if it was. I'm like, of course, it's not talking about you. It's Eric Schmidt's victory party. But I wanted to see just to see. So I did. I'm like, nah, she's just in the picture. Okay. So I tweeted it. I retweeted it to the world. As
Thank
you know,
you.
everybody follows me.
The world.
Yeah.
The entirety of Wiggins
Yeah.
America.
And then I realized, wait a minute, Annie might want to see this first. Although it's the Post-Dispatch, so you can't exactly contain it. But I thought, I'm going to send it direct message to you first and just let you do whatever you want with it.
Panic.
I thought you might.
I panicked. The picture is, I look psycho in the photo.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
Because yes. Here, can I make a noise that is what I picture the noise coming out of your
Not
mouth?
if it's offensive.
Okay, then I won't.
You can offend me, but don't offend other people.
No. It's to offend you
Do you know
deliberately.
where okay, well, do you know where the dump button is?
I do.
Okay, if I tell you to push the dump button, go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. The noise that I picture coming out of your mouth when that picture is taken was because the look on your face is
I really like Eric Schmidt. And I feel like I should be happy, I guess. I mean, it doesn't even say my name in the article anywhere, I don't think.
no, it doesn't.
It is possible that Joe Holloman doesn't know that that's me.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's probably at least 52% possible.
You're saying there's a 48% chance that he does know it's you.
Yeah, and then we need to talk. Clearly he's not a fan. This is not my MO. Like I said, for people who don't know me personally, I'm very particular about photos that are taken of me. It's not professionally. My family knows this about me. And if I'm going to be in the photo of something someone's taken, they will usually be like, hey, Annie, I'm going to take a photo. Do you mind? And I appreciate that. I just don't want, I grew up without social media. I grew up, was in the middle of college before stuff was getting out there. And I've seen what one photo can do to somebody that gets out there that's unsavory, unflattering, or maybe even worse. And so I have just decided it's in my better interest, especially if I ever choose to run for office for something, to just have a very tight grip on that. And I know what that makes me look like, but I have decided the trade-off is worth it in the long run. And then Joe Holloman came around. And I'm like, well.
And you know what?
Mm.
You better hope that they didn't connect that to your name, because then anytime somebody pulls up a file photo, that will never show up. But if they did, there's Annie forever.
Joe, if you're listening to the show and there is any way you can change that photo, can you change it? Like, I'm making a public plea to you. I'm sending tens of people right now to go see this photo. I shared it on the Annie Frey Show Facebook. So if you want to roast me for my photo, like Ryan does, or if you want to try to make me feel better, I don't really need, like I said to Ryan, the only, if honestly, if I were pre-Slim 180, 30 pounds heavier, I would be not here today.
Nice.
I would be in a not good place right now. But other than the craziness on my face when I'm shaking Eric Schmidt's hand.
What a week this has been.
It's crazy.
I mean, from Sunday morning, from you being on national TV and then being on national TV again this week, the Eric Schmidt thing, the primaries across the country. I mean, just news-wise, it's been a lot of personal news for you, but it's been a big news week in general, too.
Some highs, some lows.
This would have been one of the whats? That picture.
Not the highs.
Not a high?
No,
Okay.
the event was great. Glad I was there, mostly. Got a break. Everybody go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and see the most ridiculous photo of me that has ever made it to the public. It's on the page, on the Post Dispatch. Joe Holloman, come on. What are you doing to me? We'll be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
You set me free.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Former State Senator Jeff Smith.
I would think Eric Greitens' political career is over, but, he probably has one or two more comebacks left in him. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in some kind of right-wing media role.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Air Comfort Service, easy to find online. Where? Of course, aircomfortservice.com. When you have an HVAC need, air conditioning, or yes, since it's August now, we're going to talk a little bit about furnaces as well. Get ahead of the crowd and get that tune-up done to your furnace to make sure that it's going to be in good working order when that cold snap hits and doesn't leave. Air Comfort Service relies on people like you and people like me, and I'm talking about customers who work with them and leave reviews and talk and sing the praises of the service that they've received for and paid for when it comes to having Air Comfort Service come out to their house. They have been amazing for my family. They've helped us get into our furnace comfort zone, our air conditioning comfort zone, and our water heater comfort zone. And the reason why they are my go-to, won't call anybody else, is because they'll give you the honest truth. They'll give you the options that you need to be able to decide based on your budget. They'll help you connect you with rebates, and they'll help connect you with great financing options to make sure that you can get in your comfort zone the right way. Check out all of their glowing reviews online. They have a whole wall full of awards, and they just keep coming. Why? Because they make sure that they care about their people, and that includes you. Go online to aircomfortservice.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to get your Missouri medical marijuana card? Today is the day at 420id.com. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in. 420id.com is a BBB accredited business with over 16,000 happy Missouri patients. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Open late every day until 9 p.m. Sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card now at 420id.com and use promo code RADIO for $30 off today.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys that I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit and you have to pay. We're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
I guess I
This
just
is the
feel
Annie
like-
Frey Show. Follow Annie on
Guess
Twitter
I just
at
feel
Annie Frey
like-
Show.
Nobody's honest, nobody's true. Everyone's lying to make it on through. I guess I just feel like I'm the same way too.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. That picture is up on the live stream right now.
Can I put out a suggestion to anybody listening? Get on the live chat and so that you can see the picture. It's up right now. Below it is the headline, which is Holloman dash political watch parties rank low on list of plum assignments, which
Just so much not flattering.
already
about it.
is just like, oh, that's cool. My suggestion is get in the live chat and write what the headline should be. Because I was coming up with them on the break, and my suggestion is Eric Schmidt shakes hands with crazy lady.
That would be me. Guys, I mean, seriously, it's unbelievable. You can comment if you want to do your captions. You can comment on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page as well, because that's where I shared Joe's article. And like I said, there's more than likely chance that he doesn't even know that's me. He just thinks that here's your run-of-the-mill crazy Republican Schmidt supporter.
Yeah. Oh man.
Joe Kelly says on YouTube, the caption should be "Just hold the gas till he leaves." Oh my god!
We got 50,000 pictures from this event.
My career was on a
it's
rapid
going well.
ascent earlier this week. Now here we
let's
are.
get one of him shaking hands with the craziest looking person we can find. There's
that
one
blonde broad over there.
She looks crazy.
I thought I looked nice that night.
She's all bent over. and
You did. You looked
staring
nice.
at him.
Thank you.
You looked nice for every second of that night.
Except for that one.
Except for that
Thanks. Thanks, Post.
one. But gosh.
The most hilarious part about this picture that they chose to feature, of all of the pictures that were taken that night, why that one? Of all of the pictures that they chose to feature in the Post-Dispatch article about the Schmidt watch party, is that apparently everybody on this show saw that picture before I did, and everybody thought, oh, this is going to be bad. Everybody knew. And I didn't have, I can't call the Post-Dispatch and be like, you need to change that photo of me. That would be the most diva-ish, witchy thing a person could do. So I have to own it.
You
Suck
should have
it up.
gone out and bought every copy of the Post in the city. Which, I mean,
No, then they'd keep doing it.
oh, well, tomorrow,
Oh,
they
this is
wouldn't
a
print more the same day.
Huge
Print
selling
is-
article.
Print is
Different
down.
here.
Print is out. So you probably could have done it.
You know what sucks is that it's on the internet, and here I am sharing it. Holly says, "Wowzer."
Atrix says true fans of the show ... are the ones that stick with you after that picture.
Oh, that's right, Atrix. I like that attitude.
You got to feel good though that the national coverage that you've gotten went well. This is local. So
Yeah, if this was on the heel of a couple bad national appearances, I would not be
wouldn't
here
that
today.
be amazing if Tyrus had picked this picture for the graphic nationally? That would be awesome.
No,
I hope he's listening.
no,
because
he's not.
If he
He's busy.
is, he could do that in retrospect and just continue to promote the show with his picture. Crop out Eric Schmidt and put Tyrus over it.
Everybody's making bathroom jokes. Like I look like like I'm about to have a situation.
Well, okay, clarify, because I can't tell what's going on here the way they crop the picture. Are you sitting or are you crouching?
Just lean forward.
About to stand?
There were no seats anywhere.
Because the person behind you
this moment lasted literally, what, 4 seconds?
I know, but I can't tell what you're doing in the picture. I can't tell if you're getting ready to stand or if you're...
That's the thing.
She just leaned in. He came down.
Okay.
They recognized one another, leaned in. She leaned in to shake his hand, and then they snapped that picture. And I think you were getting ready to say something. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything because everybody was going crazy and they're playing some music.
Hannah knows how crazy I am about photos. And Hannah's like a freaking model over here. So she knows how to take photos. And I clearly do not.
I just wanted to come in and say that Annie was not the only one who had a terrible photo taken of them that day. I also had a terrible photo taken of me. What was that in NPR?
I think it was in was it the St. Louis
yeah,
NPR?
we mentioned this, but I didn't hear the rest of the story. What is it?
If I had the opportunity though to have my bad picture out there and hers, I'd rather hers is not as horrific.
Well, of course,
as
you'd
mine.
always choose somebody else.
Why? Because of my face?
I didn't have
because somebody else would then be getting the bad picture.
I
not
didn't
you.
have crazy eyes in mine. I was
applying that I did. I see. No, it's true. I'm not sensitive.
Was the headline of the NPR story "Crazy Nut Job Sits Next to Annie Frey"?
Maybe I was yelling, I guess, or something. I just looked drunk, but
Oh, did you look like you were insane? Like you were
excited.
She's a crazy
I'll
Republican.
show it on the live
She's
chat.
frothing at the mouth.
You'll have to make a noise for what you think I was sounding like. In
We'll
that
share it
picture.
on the break here coming up.
Yeah.
I was to say, but I'm also in that photo, but we'll just see if you can locate me.
Oh yeah, that's a Brad. You look great in that picture.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Let's just say if there could have been something blocking my face in this picture, I would have been better off in this moment. All right, so are you gonna stop laughing at what they're saying?
It's funny.
You can read. I'll give you like your 5 favorites that you can read.
All right, keep putting them in because
like 2:30.
I'm going to monitor your headlines for this crazy picture.
Ay.
Eric Schmidt regrets shaking hands with lady.
Lady regrets shaking hands with Eric Schmidt.
No, lady's super excited about shaking hands in this picture.
It's so bad.
I like the nitro cold brew comment. I don't have a computer in front of me, but that was a good one.
We'll star some of those and put them behind. All right, let me give you the YouTube live chat poll. If you're joining us right now to relish in my public humiliation, come and join us on the live chat. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Today's is: should the United States work to bring WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner home after being found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Yes or no? When we come back, folks, stop it. Stop it.
That's a really good one.
Stop it. Don't.
Did you just star that? That's a fantastic one. Okay. Well, wait. I won't read it, though. That's the best one I've seen.
Remember when I was in the middle of promoting something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Are you with me now?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Remember, you are on the
I'm on
show.
the show.
Yes.
I'm here.
You are part of what goes out of the
Yeah.
radio for people to listen to. You don't just have the best front row seat to the Annie Frey show.
I'm having a good time, though. It's a good day.
Let us know in the YouTube live chat poll what you think about Brittney Griner and what the United States government should do to get her home or not to get her home. And then when we come back, how about the 4 of us react to what should happen next? You guys good for that?
Yeah.
You got thoughts?
Yeah, but
Formulate
it's not
them.
easy. Yeah.
Formulate them. And over the break, I'm going to go find that bad picture of Hannah and show the world.
Yes.
The world needs to focus on anything else other than this psycho picture of me in the Post-Dispatch. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
That love's gonna save us from a world that's gone mad.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health from Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health from Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. The U.S. declares a public health emergency over monkeypox. I'm Lisa Brady. The outbreak, first identified overseas, has now infected more than 6,000 Americans.
We're prepared to take our response to the next level in addressing this virus, and we urge every American to take monkeypox seriously and to take responsibility to help us tackle this virus.
Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra moments ago, part of a telebriefing with CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky, who says the emergency declaration will help improve the availability of data, overall aiming to boost the federal response to the outbreak. Most of the cases have involved men who have sex with men, but the virus can infect anyone and spread through less physical contact, including, for instance, from bedsheets. More than 2 years after the death of Breonna Taylor during a botched raid in Kentucky, 4 current and former officers face federal charges.
Attorney General Merrick Garland said charges include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction. Officers Joshua James and Kyle Meany, along with Detective Kyle Goodlett, are accused of writing up a false warrant as part of a drug trafficking investigation.
The affidavit falsely claimed that officers had verified that the target of the alleged drug trafficking operation had received packages at Ms. Taylor's address. In fact, defendants James and Goodlett knew that was not true.
He says when other officers, along with Brett Hankison, went into Taylor's apartment, the man inside with Taylor, who was in lawful possession of a gun, opened fire. Officers then fired back, killing Breonna. Hankison is now charged with unconstitutional use of force.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. One officer was acquitted earlier this year on state counts related to the raid, but not the death. The U.S. calling on Russia again to free 2 detained Americans, including basketball star Brittney Griner, sentenced to 9 years in prison today on drug charges. America is listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo.
It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us, on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Still the chance of a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms going through the afternoon, but nothing widespread, and I don't see anything severe. 88 for the high. The humidity is still in place. Tonight, partly cloudy and steamy, 72. Friday, partly sunny, humid, 88 degrees. Just a slight chance of a spot thunderstorm on Friday. Partly sunny and 92 in spot storms Saturday and Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Annie Frey here. Join me this Tuesday, August 9th at the Wine Garden in Belleville for a fundraising event for Illinois Republican governor candidate Darren Bailey.
Democrats have been in charge of Illinois for most people's recent memory.
The evening includes dinner, a silent auction, and a cash bar. Join the effort to help restore Illinois by partnering with Darren Bailey. That's Tuesday from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Wine Garden in Belleville. Find details and purchase tickets at 971talk.com/events.
Well, one great thing about talking about Fountains Family Dentistry is that I've known Dr. Ty Parker for a long, long time, and I know him well enough to know that he always gets the state-of-the-art stuff. For instance, I went into the office probably 10 years ago now and got my first sleep apnea retainer, and it changed my life. I sleep so much better. I'll never not use one now. But when I went in to get it replaced, he goes, by the way, we've updated the process. So now when you take the little mold, it's way easier on you. He's always doing that because he's always looking into the latest technologies and what's the latest, greatest for your care. And as I've said before, they're open late some days. They're open early some days. That's all to benefit you and just your schedule. They do all this because they want to be the top choice for when you're going to get dental care. Even if you just need a cleaning, give them a call. They're in Fairview Heights, Illinois, fountainsfamilydentistry.com. They are just off of Highway 64, so easy to get to. Even if you're in Missouri, it's easy to get to. And a couple people here from the station have done that simply because I talk about them so much. fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for another Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market losses this year? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing for your home or business, and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
Nature Valley is giving away back-to-school gear for free at the Retalk Shop. On TikTok, show how you reduce, reuse, or recycle with hashtag #RetalkForNature. And you could be served a code, unlocking one free item. While supplies last, terms and conditions apply.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long. Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thank you for being with us here today on a Thursday afternoon. We appreciate you. People having a little fun at my expense, but it's fun nonetheless. If you haven't seen the photo of me in the Post-Dispatch that was selected, it's a hit job against Schmidt is what this is.
It must be. It does not reflect
It's
well.
the only thing that makes sense. I look like a crazy person, and that's the photo that was used in the Post-Dispatch to talk about the Schmidt watch party. So you can check that out. Ryan's going to read some captions from that. If you want to look at the photo, it's on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. I don't need you to.
They're good though.
I'm beating
They're
it.
really good.
I'm trying to beat everybody to the punch.
And you have to an extent, but
not you guys.
No, we were ahead of you on this one, which is rare. You're usually ahead of us on news, but we got you on this one. And these headlines,
This
these
isn't
fake
news.
headlines,
This is salacious gossip.
are great. They're really good. So keep them coming because I'm starring them.
I want to talk a little bit more about Ron DeSantis. So we heard earlier today the news from the DeSantis camp that came out and was talking about what he is doing to push back against what people are seeing all across the country right now in some of these activist DAs, these activist states attorneys who have chosen not to prosecute certain crimes. It's kind of an amazing thing to take in, and people don't feel safe in these cities that don't value the victims of crimes. Instead, they try to make victims out of the criminals. But here's Ron DeSantis from earlier today talking about what he's doing in Florida to make sure that he can push back on this problem in his state.
The Constitution of Florida has vested the veto power in the governor, not in individual state attorneys. And so when you flagrantly violate your oath of office, when you make yourself above the law, you have violated your duty, you have neglected your duty, and you are displaying a lack of competence to be able to perform those duties. And so today we are suspending State Attorney Andrew Warren.
So he basically said, if you're not going to fulfill the duties of your responsibilities as somebody who's supposed to prosecute crime, you don't, as a prosecutor, have the option to veto laws that are in effect. That's in the office of the governor. Certainly, this is a specific to Florida law. If you're not going to do your job, then we're going to suspend you from it. Bold move by Ron DeSantis in Florida. I commend him for it because we need to get back to a law and order state. If you don't like the laws, then don't be a prosecutor, be a legislator, because that's where you change the laws, or be the governor and have the opportunity to have the power of the pen and the veto power. That's why we have a system set up with tons of checks and balances. And if you're the prosecutor who thinks that the law should be changed, you have to go be in the position to change it. You can't just do that. But of course, across the country, we have seen many instances where that has been the case. Did you boys see, Ryan and Brad, the invitation from The View to Ron DeSantis to come join them?
Oh, yeah.
So we have to talk about this because this is just amazing. What's my rule about conservative women on The View? Don't do it.
Right. Yeah.
Completely abstain.
Is Anna Navarro the current supposedly conservative?
She's one of them. And then I think they were getting ready to invite somebody else.
I've never seen her espouse a Republican conservative thought.
No.
Yeah, and that's why I asked if she's supposed to be that.
Like, wasn't that her role on CNN too? She was supposed to be
Republican strategist.
The Republican strategist there.
That sounds about right.
I mean, it makes sense though, right? If you're if you're watching CNN and you want to know what a Republican strategist thinks, it's like the Republican strategist you can stomach on CNN.
Yeah.
It's why it's called The View and not The Views, because it's one view. Only one approved way of looking at things. Like, what's wrong with the discussion? Have a discussion, disagree with one another, go get a cup of coffee or a beer afterwards, and do it again on Friday. That's what America's supposed to be about. Conversation, disagreement, and prioritizing people, relationships, and humans over political victories every single day. That's not the way people think that they make money these days, but they won't let an honest conversation happen on The View, because I think that they don't have a good way to win the argument.
Well, that was the original intent of the show when Barbara Walters was on it and started. I mean, not that it was ever really fair, but it was intended to be a show called The View because everybody had a different viewpoint. And that was, let's get together and talk about it on camera.
So The View wanted to ask Ron DeSantis to come participate. So here I am complaining about them not including people. Well, they say, well, Governor DeSantis, why don't you come on? Okay, Annie, that'll show you in the request to Ron DeSantis's press team. I'm reading here from Brian Griffin, who is the deputy press secretary of Ron DeSantis's governor's job here. He tweets, The View emailed our office on Friday asking for us to arrange an appearance from Governor DeSantis on the show. Quote, we would be honored, end quote. Well, that's kind of odd when you take into, and which is why I say, don't take the bait, conservative women. There's no woman who I am looking to that's going to go sit down on The View and like defend where I'm coming from. I have a right in this country to believe things that are right of center or very staunchly right. They don't even have to be moderate. I have that right. Of course, we see people espousing those thoughts and opinions on the far left all the time. That's welcomed. It's everywhere. It's saturated. You'd almost think that having somebody who could win a good conservative argument would make for good television, which is why I don't think that that's what they're interested in. Because if you put somebody in there who could articulate without baggage, Meghan McCain probably did a good job. She's not the type of conservative woman I am. I'm not in favor of every person who calls themselves conservative and is a woman being the same as me. That's not how this thing works. Have somebody come on there that doesn't have, the reason Meghan McCain had the longevity that she had there is because she was the number one most important thing, anti-Trump.
Yeah, you're right. That's why she got the job.
And she could stay.
She would stand up for certain things that we also would stand up for. So it's fair that she was a conservative and wasn't backing down, but you're right. It's because at the time she was in the right camp on the current guy.
She endorsed Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Ugh. So if you're The View and you want Ron DeSantis to come on your show and you want to tell him you would be honored to be able to host him there, really, The View? You'd be honored?
You're just short of calling him a negligent, homicidal sociopath. Because that's what he is. He's risking the lives of children's parents, their grandparents, anyone they may come in contact with, so that he could appeal to his white supremacist base.
DeSantis. I think he handled COVID miserably. I think he's a fascist and a bigot. It's anti-black, it's anti-gay, it's anti-LGBTQ+, it's anti-American. It started with CRT. If you start coming after black people, what comes next, right? Of course, the LGBTQ plus community, and then women, and then other marginalized groups.
It's not true. None of the things that are incredibly hateful, incredibly humanly degrading that they accuse Ron DeSantis of being, those things are not in fact true. And The View does this type of stuff every single day. And then they send an email to Ron DeSantis's press team and they say, we would be honored to have the governor on. You're not even honorable. How can you have a discussion where Ron DeSantis isn't present and you call him a white supremacist, a racist, a bigot? You say he's homophobic and that he's working to marginalize or to degrade people that are of color or people who have a different lifestyle choice. None of these things is actually factually true, but none of that actually matters, which means you have no honor, you deserve no respect, and this is what Ron DeSantis's people wrote back. Thanks for the invite. I understand that you're sending this request on behalf of your team. But are the hosts of The View really interested in hearing from Governor DeSantis about all the important work he is doing on behalf of Floridians to protect their health and livelihoods, to stand up for parents and children, and to defend freedom? Which of the below statements from the hosts of The View do you recommend our team consider when deciding if the interview will be a genuine pursuit of the truth or worth the time? Joy Behar, August 2021. You're just short of calling Governor Ron DeSantis a negligent, homicidal sociopath, because that's what he is. It's what we just heard. She added, what is he doing? He's risking the lives of children, children's parents, grandparents, anyone that may come into contact with, so he can appeal to his white supremacist base, so he can continue in his career and get reelected. Sonny Hostin in June 2022, Death Santis. I think he's a fascist and a bigot. Anna Navarro, April 2022. On his policies, it's anti-Black, it's anti-gay, it's anti-LGBTQ plus community. And for some reason, the Republican base responds to it. It's anti-American. It's what happens in Venezuela. It's what happened in Nicaragua. Sonny Hostin in February of 2022 on his policies. It started with CRT. Let's remember that. And those are anti-history laws, anti-Black history laws, really. If you start coming after Black people, what comes next, right? Of course, the LGBTQ plus community, and then women, and then other marginalized groups. He follows up, we will pass on this offer. Also, please note, we don't coordinate appearances or events of a political nature from the official office. Our role is to serve the people of Florida. Thank you. That is the way, because you can't indulge these people and their flippancy with which they make incredibly aggressively incorrect accusations about somebody, smear someone's campaign. If this continues to happen week after week, day after day on The View, what kind of fair fight is Ron DeSantis coming in? Like, you think anybody in that audience or on that panel is primed to have an honest discussion with Ron DeSantis?
The problem is not just that the deck is completely stacked against you, because you'd go into that environment knowing that. And Ron DeSantis actually might be able to still walk away with a victory because he's got the facts. He knows what he's talking about and he's good at portraying them. The difference, though, is he's not the editor of the interview. So even if he did make a great point.
Is this because you've been in the business?
I was in the industry, so I know this, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but these shows are pre-taped.
Ryan, talk down to me so I can understand.
So when I say the industry, I mean the entertainment industry. That's just shorthand.
Not what we're in.
No, we're in
What would you call this?
Certainly not entertaining.
Fantastic. Is this why you don't listen to the show?
It's like pulling teeth, man. It's tough. But Jon Stewart, Daily Show did this. A lot of people, conservative, you weren't even in the industry.
He's pointing at Brad, not me.
Brad, yeah.
He knows I don't know.
It's almost like I consume the industry, not.
It's incredible.
Part of it.
That people, conservatives who started going on the Daily Show, would start saying, I will only appear if I can also record the whole interview and publish it, because they knew that you're going to do a 45-minute interview with me, and you're going to pull the absolute worst 3 minutes and air that. And The View has the ability to do that too. I think they're a little less edit happy than the Daily Show was, but they can do that.
Here's the other thing. You said that Ron DeSantis could still walk away with a victory. I agree with that, except for with whom? Because I am watching Ron DeSantis, who is my favorite person in politics because of what he's physically actually doing right now. I have predisposed myself to watch him go in there and win. And when he says things and they interrupt him and he hammers him back, and I'm like, yeah, you hit them with that truth. That is a win to me. But for him to go in there as somebody who is a fascist, a bigot, anti-Black, anti-gay, white supremacist, and this is the part that doesn't usually get discussed. Multiple times in these things that they have said about Ron DeSantis, they're actually attacking his base. His stupid, suck up everything, slurp up everything he shovels at him that's so hateful. His base will just eat it up like it's a Lunchable. Like it's simple packaged dumb stuff for us to take in as stupid voters. And that's why Ron DeSantis is dangerous. Ron DeSantis isn't dangerous because he's Ron DeSantis. He's dangerous because idiots like me and maybe like you just take up whatever he says. So when Ron DeSantis walks away from The View, the people who love The View and love Joy Behar and Sonny Hostin and Anna Navarro and Whoopi Goldberg, all of them, when they walk away from that interview, they feel like they won that interview. Ron DeSantis's people feel like Ron DeSantis won that interview. Who crossed over in that exchange? Nobody. And if Ron DeSantis isn't going to have a fair opportunity to speak in truth and facts and cross even one person over, it is not worth the taxpayer in Florida's time and money to send him there while he's not focusing on the state of Florida.
It's a good point you make about not just attacking DeSantis, but attacking anybody who supports him. Because if you're watching The View, which a lot of people do apparently, although less than ever now, but still a lot of people watching, you're going to hear that and think, not just, I don't want to be associated with DeSantis. I don't want to be called the knuckle dragger that you're calling all of people who are even around him.
The Neanderthal?
Yeah. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person. So I'm going to distance myself as much as possible from him.
Or you just keep quiet, which is how they've won so many things. I mean, you can, I can't stress this enough. Having what I would consider to be American conservative ideas in your head is not a radical thought process and life decision. To have things, to have priorities in your life where you think that you should be making the decisions in your life. You should get to choose who and if you worship. You should be able to choose how your kids are raised. You should be able to have a huge say, the biggest say, in how your tax dollars that don't get spent by the government until you make money and decide this chunk goes off to the government to spend and the rest you get to keep. They don't get $1 until you make it. And for you to say, I'd like to have a bigger say in this. And I don't think that that pet project is worth the sacrifice that I have to make as a taxpayer trying to feed dozens of kids that I have for. If I'm having to sacrifice this chunk of money that I'm working hard to make for the government to spend it, it better be more valuable in the hands of the government than on my kitchen table on the bottom in the form of a diaper on my baby's butt. That's the important part that Americans have wanted to espouse, but if you were to be labeled conservative, it is as bad. It is synonymous with fascist. It's synonymous with bigot, with white supremacist. Just all of these nasty words that they casually and daily serve out to the people. Don't play the game. Don't show up on the field. You're not going to win that fight. And if you can't win it, don't do it. The people who love Ron DeSantis and who will vote for him again and who support him are going to vote for him as much as they can, whether he goes on The View or not. If he shows up and he fights with them, The View gets maybe to make a nick in him. And that's the only play there.
Well, that, and they get all the play from having Ron DeSantis on their show.
Bingo. I'm glad you said that. The amount of us who would tune in to watch The View that day that normally would want to have nothing to do with The View. Ryan, if you were in the industry, you would have known that. But thank you, Brad.
Yeah, we would just air the interview live on this show.
Fact.
When's The View on? Let's just play that.
The amount of views and viewers and the amount of ratings that they would get from bringing somebody in like that in an audience that doesn't traditionally watch that show, they still win.
Yep.
Ron DeSantis said, "Nah, I love it. I love Ron DeSantis." Let's take a quick break. When we come back, are you primed to roast me here?
Yeah, there's some great comments on this picture. They are headlines of Crazy Annie picture that made the Post-Dispatch. And I invited people a couple segments ago to leave what headline should have been written under that picture on the Post. And there's some great ones. And so I'm going to share my favorites coming up next here on the Annie Frey Show.
Thanks.
Can I just go to break?
Yeah, you're in the industry. You just do whatever you want. Ryan Wiggins with trashing me next. You're not going to want to miss this. I do. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Annie Frey here. Join the effort to help restore Illinois by partnering with Darren Bailey.
They're in the super majority right now.
Tuesday, August 9th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Wine Garden in Belleville. Purchase tickets at 971talk.com/events.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. And now it's even easier to reach out and talk to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline with 988. 988 is just like 911 for emergency services. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
So Lakeside Renovation and Design is your go-to destination for interior home renovations and exterior home renovations. Let's talk about the inside first. I think a lot of people spent a lot of time in the last couple of years at home, and you've been thinking about how you can improve your space and maybe expand your space without having to maybe put an addition on. Lakeside can do that as well. Let's talk about the refinishing of your basement. What are your needs? Have Lakeside Renovation and Design have that conversation with you so that when you map out how your basement is going to lay out. Maybe you want a bar down there, an entertainment space. Maybe you want to keep a lot of storage. Maybe you don't. Lakeside Renovation and Design, they're the experts, and they can help you with the financing that comes along to make this more affordable for you. What's your budget? How do you want to see this finished? What's your timeline? Talk to Lakeside Renovation and Design so that you can get the project done by the very best. They are easy to call at 636-978-5000. That's 636-978-5000. Give them a call and start the conversation on your project today. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh, yeah, and service.
Can you fix this car?
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
ChiliChili.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Even though it is at my own expense. Somebody, you want to just do music? I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that. I had a project in high school once.
Breaking me over the coals.
That was it was in Spanish class. You had to pick any song you wanted and translate the whole thing and either say it or sing it in Spanish. And me and a friend of mine. So it was Spanish class.
It was Spanish class.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't geometry.
What is running?
So
Diablo.
the only thing I remember about, we did this whole song. Running with the devil. Well, me and a friend sang it to the whole class, and we had a karaoke track. And all I remembered is that I was doing the harmony, and it was Corando con Diablo. And I don't remember any of the rest because he did the rest. I just stood there and went.
Did you get an A?
Yeah. It was great. I think it was the best one because we actually did a production.
I would have given you an A for that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even have to been like good singing.
I'm not a great singer, and especially not harmonies, but I learned that and I remembered it. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna observe the majority of this segment. I'm gonna let Brad and Ryan here take over. Brad, people can go to the YouTube live right now. Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're live. You can vote in the YouTube live chat poll, which is up there. Should the United States work to bring WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner home after being found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Yes or no? John Kirby at the State Department is commenting on this from the White House right now. So there's obviously conversation taking place around that situation. We want to know what you think. So vote yes or no. Hannah will cover that in the 245 segment, but also on the YouTube live right now. Brad, just kind of set the table for people, and I'm going to finish this peach that I was eating while you guys take care of trashing me.
Enjoy.
So we're at the Eric
job,
Schmidt
Brad.
event, and
this is a lot of pressure.
and he comes down off the platform and
I was not on the stage.
sees Annie, does the hey thing. Annie leans in, shakes his hand, and that was it. And then
you're describing a completely normal event.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I maybe spin this a little bit?
No.
Because what I saw
Ryan,
was
what could I say to stop you from spinning this?
Also, I might want to add before Ryan adds a spin to it that Brad was standing right next to me the whole time, and Ryan was in the studio. So go ahead and say what really happened while you weren't even there.
Well, what I'm looking at here, because media is reality, as we know. So what I'm looking at
you
is
are in political news. What do I want to have happen?
So when he walked down from the stage, he shook a couple hands, and apparently the third hand that he shook was Annie's hand. And he was just going along the line, didn't realize, oh, you're Annie. And like at the moment he realized, hey, you're Annie Frey. She was like, oh, hey, yes, I am. Hi. And her eyes are big. And she kind of bent over, a little bit surprised.
Crazy person big.
Probably surprised that you got recognized by him.
Like imagine
just
seeing
all of them, in a moment.
Imagine seeing that face in your window at night.
No.
That's why you're two-way
that's
supporter.
the stuff that causes my kids to come and sleep in my bed.
My husband's probably gonna come over.
Jared?
I can't do this. I can't unsee these things.
So you're not gonna believe who slept with us last night. Jared. Was it the storms? No, is that picture from the Post-Dispatch.
It haunts me.
So the Post wrote an article about Joe Holliman wrote an article in the Post about the event.
Not about me.
Not at all. And in fact, it doesn't even mention you, but the picture that was snapped, probably, I don't even know if it was by him, probably by a photographer that was just chosen for this article. Just so happens to be that moment when Eric Schmidt has, he's won. He's going to the
He looks happy to see me.
He's in a great mood. It's a great night for him.
I mean, he just finished delivering his victory speech and everything. So he's come down, man. This is high on life stuff.
Right. So this is literally, I don't know this part. This is literally right after he did his
speech.
Thing.
Yeah, finished his victory speech and stepped off the platform, shook two hands, and then this happened.
So Post, click.
And
we got this picture, and it happens to be of him shaking hands with this crazy lady. Who's staring him right in the eye, going.
Again, Joe Holliman wrote this article, and I think it's likely he doesn't even know that was me.
No. I don't think so.
Some crazy Schmidt Superman.
He may have not even selected the photo. It may have been a different department that does that part. So the headline of the article is just about political watch parties.
Mm-hmm.
I invited people a couple segments ago, write your own headline for what this picture is really saying. And lots of people did. And we starred, I think, the best 5. And so I'm going to go through these real quick here. First, and almost in ascending order, because I do have a favorite here. But on the platform anyway is Larry at number 5. Headline, Eric Schmidt files restraining order from stalker. Okay, that's the first one. This I guess this would be the moment that he realized, no. You're the stalker. How did you get in here? And she's going,
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for being here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you a lot.
Number 4, Matt says Annie Frey coasts to easy arm wrestling win over Missouri AG.
and he's like 6'6" or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Eric Schmidt is a big dude.
That's why I asked if you were sitting in this, because
no, he's that tall.
He's just tall.
I'm 5'8".
Okay. Here's one. Now, this is from a listener named Mark, who also has a show on this station.
Oh, no. Which one?
Morning show.
Did you guys make up?
No. No. I walked past him after doing, we're fighting. I was trying to make a fake media brawl, just like East Coast, West Coast rappers, basically just to get attention.
It's exactly like midday East rappers. Coast, West
That's exactly
Coast
what
rappers.
this was. And so I walked past him and he just put up his fists. And I was like, really, man? And he's like, but I think also maybe that we're going to really fight.
Okay. Can you just
Can we sell tickets to that?
Yeah.
No. This is going to be like in the street.
Yeah. So,
well,
still
as long as we get a portion. Okay. So this is his headline.
This is from Mark Cox.
This is Mark Cox.
Thanks, Mark. What a team.
Illinois voter overwhelmed upon meeting an actual conservative politician. Yep.
Well done, Mark. You win the prize.
I gave him number 3, which means that there are 2 that I actually consider better than that.
Mark, that's hilarious.
And this was really close between number 2 and 3.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
No.
I'm going to get that picture and put it in a frame with like a
these
white
headlines?
mat. No, I want Mark's.
Oh, that's awesome.
I want to
Do
put
it.
that in my office.
Invite people to do, make your own and share them with us. We can. That's a easy.
I don't need
Photoshop.
the public to share this picture for
Yeah,
me.
why not? Why not?
Do I need to explain it?
Nope.
Stalker?
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, what if that got out there? This person's a stalker. All right. Number 2, and I got to say, between Mark Cox's and this one from Joe, it was very, very close. We could have swapped these 2. Eric to drop out of Senate race after being turned to stone. Because it is locked eye. It is hello there. I've got you. It is laser beams. And he's frozen.
It's so bad.
Pillar of salt. Okay. All right. And
I'm actually sweating right now. I'm so nervous. I have anxiety about this.
Number 1, and I hope this isn't, how David Letterman used to do the top 10?
Oh, yeah.
He'd get to the number 1, and it was really not the best one.
Yeah.
I feel as if this could be construed that way, but I also feel like it really deserves the number 1. It really does. Okay.
This is your game, your
All
rules.
Right. Number 1 caption for the Annie Frey picture with Eric Schmidt in the Post-Dispatch right now is, Annie, are you okay? Right? That had to be number 1.
Oh.
Eric Schmidt asks, Annie, are you okay?
No,
I love that.
I am not. Now. Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, there was right
That's
there.
fast. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
Good job. Now, those are great, right? I mean, you have to admit, even though it's all entirely at your expense.
I decided when I got the message from, I think Hannah sent the screenshot or the link last night, and then you commented in our group chat on Twitter about it. I froze, probably stopped breathing for about 12 seconds. And it was a complete and total fight or flight moment. And I was like, fine, I'll fight. I'll let him have it.
Yes,
I'll go
good
in
decision.
on this instead of trying to bury it and tell the
Good
Post to
decision.
take it. So I'm putting myself out there. It is such a bad photo, but glad we could have some fun with it. And glad, yes, in retrospect, that I got to go to that watch party. My gosh.
Forever memorialized.
Unbelievable. When we come back, results to the YouTube live chat poll. If you haven't voted in it yet, you got time over the break right now to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and tell us, should the United States work to bring WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner home after being found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Yes or no? Ryan, you want to take us out of here? You got it.
Oh, I gotta wait for the part.
Right here?
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Catherine Penner led in the voting all night. I've got a message for her. Stop being so hard to reach.
I don't know. Russell should have reached out to us. We didn't have any trouble finding Catherine Penner. In fact, we've got her on the phone. Thanks for giving me some time this morning.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Shopping for flooring in the future? How about this weekend? Well, you can go to any of the 3 locations for Michael's Flooring Outlet and see what they have. They also you can go online right now to igotfloor.com and see what they have in stock. It's a great way to kind of prep yourself if you already know an idea of what you're looking for. If you're looking for a beautiful hardwood or something that looks like a hardwood floor, you can see what Michael's Flooring Outlet has available for you. If you're looking for carpeting, if you're looking for the hypoallergenic Mohawk Smart Strand brand, whichever avenue you're going down, make sure you give Michael's Flooring Outlet an opportunity to win your customer service. It's going to be a good experience from the get-go. First of all, top quality products. Second of all, the best customer service that is out there. And third of all, the value. Michael's Flooring Outlet knows how to win customers and keep customers. A generational experience of buyers, people who come buy their flooring from Michael's and recommend Michael's to the people they meet when they are going through the same thing. It's all available for you online right now. Locations, inventory, all of it at igotfloored.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet Store.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
We've all done it or used to do it. Use the same passwords at work as we have for online shopping, Netflix, news sites, etc. But here's the problem. Those sites are often compromised, and those stored credentials are exposed, shared, and sold on the dark web. My hope is your users are not using the same work passwords for those sites as they use for work. But in reality, some of them are, because let's face it, remembering one password is a lot easier than remembering all of them. Hackers then use those passwords, guess the login, and voila, you get ransomware. This is how bad actors get into networks. Not by hacking their way through your firewall, but by buying usernames and passwords off the dark web. One of our favorite parlor tricks is telling someone their super secret password during a meeting. It looks like magic, but actually it's been exposed in some obscure website breach. The good news is, Acropolis is here and we can help. I know IT isn't how most of you want to spend your day, but from one business owner to another, you need to feel comfortable that these areas are protected and in place now more than ever. If you aren't satisfied with what you find, we can help. Visit us on the web at acropolistech.com and let's start a conversation.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Back in about 1996, I had that same face from the picture on listening to Bob Hansen.
Oh, well, we all did. Who was your favorite? Mine was Taylor.
Yep. He's a singer, right?
That's the only one I know. I did remember his name, though.
Yeah, I think I could have remembered that.
And there was Brett, and there was Kippy. That is the three.
Same as Fleetwood Mac, right? I don't know their other names.
I'm seeing his tell again.
I absolutely did. Yeah, I absolutely did love this song and still do. Like, if I hear this song, I'm smiling. Hopefully
I like
you
their
are
other
too.
stuff.
If you're not smiling, maybe you've turned the radio station off by now and, well, bye. Sorry. Let's do the little YouTube live chat poll reaction today. Hannah, back in studio with us. Tell us the poll and how it broke down.
All right. The poll question today is, should the U.S. work to bring Brittney Griner home after she was found guilty in Russia on drug charges? Yes or no? We got 169 votes. 63% of the people said no, the U.S. should not work to bring her back home. And 37% of the people said that they should.
Does that surprise you? We didn't get to this, but what do you think about this question?
I thought the poll would be about 50-50. It was a little more tilted toward no than I thought it would be, but we have given bop. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, that's my fault.
But what I think about this is little
what I think about this is bop. We've given away so much leverage in this already that it's really hard to know what to do. So I do think we should work to get her home because I think that this is a political ploy and it is designed to make us look foolish. Don't
ding ding.
Yeah, well, it works. Don't make a decision that makes us look foolish. That's the worst thing you can do because that's the point of this.
And we've backed ourselves into such a corner.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's either to get us to look foolish or to get us to look weak.
Either way, you're right. Either way, it's if we don't do this absolutely perfectly, we're going to look that way.
We got a ton of comments on our YouTube today. One of them is from McPeter2K. He said, Griner did break Russia's law, so some time served is okay. You are 100% right, Annie. She is American. We need to protect her. Show her why America is greater than she thinks. So McPeter was in agreement with you, Annie. Vicky Long said, I voted no only because would we work to bring him home an average person caught in the same situation? Bill from YouTube said, had to vote no. She has been vocally anti-American in her past statements. Now she can have a few years to learn firsthand how great she had it in this, quote, horrible country.
Do you think that if it was an average person, we'd be working harder to get her home?
No, because I don't think that they would do this to an average American.
I don't think
because people, I understand what some of these comments are saying that, since she's high profile, that's what makes it interesting to the Russians. Like, her profile makes this a poker chip that can be played by the Russians against the United States. It's much more about Russia and the United States than it is about Brittney Griner specifically. But my comments earlier about if it were Brittany Smith from Fenton, Missouri, there's a Brittany Smith in Fenton, Missouri right now going, what is the deal?
She's getting a huge shout out, though.
She's got
shout out to Brittany.
I never did take weed to Russia. I promise.
Stop trying to put me in Russian prison.
Sorry, Brittany Smith from Fenton, Missouri.
That's the point of it.
But I mean, if it were Brittany Smith from Fenton, Missouri, I don't know that it even ever we're not having the conversation because I don't think it gets to here.
Probably not. Although there are examples of this happening to regular citizens in the past that do become high profile. Do you remember I think it was early to mid 90s, the guy who went around doing some vandalism in Singapore and they were going to cane him? Remember that?
Yes.
That guy wasn't a celebrity,
Yeah.
but he did break their laws. And we are talking about somebody who did break Russian laws, but come on. I mean, these charges
This is
are so exaggerated.
9 years in prison.
Yeah. That's
Kathy
crazy.
Poole from YouTube says, Miss Griner disrespected the USA, our anthem, and our flag. We gave her a pass. Then she went to Russia and disrespected their laws. That was her choice. Choices have consequences. Mark W. from YouTube commented, if I go to a different country, I am responsible for knowing their laws and abiding by them. Her actions look like a sense of entitlement, and the punishment is extremely harsh.
Yeah.
John from YouTube said, you're responsible for your actions. She turned her back on America, and in return, we should do the same thing to her.
Ooh.
Jennifer H. has a different view. She says, get her home. She's an American citizen. Bottom line, maybe in these instances, the person has to volunteer for our service / men and women veterans.
That's kind of an interesting thought because when Brittney Griner comes home, I don't think she's going to be in Russia in a prison for 9 years. I don't think that's going to happen. When Brittney Griner comes home, is she going to do a media tour? Yes. Is she going to write a book? Probably.
Yeah.
Is her book going to be pro-America or anti-America?
That is a great question.
I think that's going to depend on whether or not the United States facilitates bringing her home, or she just gets done with the sentence and comes home, whether or not it's 9 years total or not.
There's no way she spends 9 years over there.
No, but Brad's right. It does depend on how she gets back. If it's the government working to get her back, well, it's still a question though. Does then she do a tour and do a Megan Rapinoe kind of deal where she's like, well, I don't love this country still though, but it's better than the alternative, because that's a point she could be making. Because that's what a lot of people, that's the point of a lot of people, is that they're saying not necessarily I hate America, but it could be better.
I mean, I understand that there's arrogance out there and stuff like that, but this is an awful lot of experience and perspective to just ignore. I mean, like, she didn't get to sit on the stand. She was in a cage in the courtroom. And when I say a cage, I mean, when you look at it, it's metal bars, and then her lawyers are sitting in front of her.
She had her own personal medically prescribed in the United States of America cannabis. She wasn't dealing it. She wasn't. I mean, you're sitting here yelling at your radio, Annie, it's against the law in Russia. Yes, it is. I get that. But to suggest that she deserves 9 years of prison in Russia because of this, come on, that is intense. So I think what a lot of Americans are harboring against her is the hatred that she espoused of this country. She, as a WNBA player, refused to be on the floor during the national anthem. She didn't think it should be played before games, and she refused to participate in it. I don't know that she can come out right now and say, if I'm able to get back to America, I want to speak about the freedom. She can't speak on American greatness from a cage in a courtroom in Russia. She can't put that out for people like you and me to consume when we are pretty much just judging who she is and her character. We don't have a say in how they get her home. I really do believe she's not going to be there for 9 years, and it'll be because the government brokers a deal.
This feels like a whole lot like the situation. This is, to me, though, this feels a whole lot like the situation where me and my brother, me and my siblings get into a fight, and we really just don't like one another. But if somebody else comes in and starts messing with them, no, you don't mess with my sibling.
Well, that's not what we do in this country anymore, though. Like that was going to be the end of my point, is that when you look and you see how we have absorbed what she has pushed on us as a WNBA basketball player, and in America, you go, okay, I don't agree with you at all, but it's a fight that exists every day. Kneeling, standing, anthem, yes, anthem, no, whatever. If she could tell us that she was going to come back and maybe she's changed her mind on a few things, I think a lot of these people commenting, let her rot in jail in Russia prison, might have a different opinion on it, but she can't say that stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that was my whole part. She's an American, and, we have our differences with other Americans, but we don't, as Americans, allow other countries to push our citizens around. We just don't do that because we're America.
And they're not pushing her around like this because she had cannabis. They're doing it because they're getting to put one on the jaw of the United States of America.
Yeah. I got texts about this more than I get most topics, actually. I got a text early in the show from somebody who's saying she, same player took offense to the national anthem being played. Now she wants the USA to save her. Big nope. Which is the sentiment of a lot of people. And it seems like we're coming down to eye for an eye or grace or mercy, right? I mean, that's kind of the debate here. Does she get what's coming to her? Do you let her go, or do you give her the mercy?
As somebody, myself being a Christian, as somebody who understands grace, and this isn't grace, this is the law, which is
why
the opposite of the gospel.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who does understand Christian grace, it's really hard to fully grasp the power of Christian grace if you haven't felt the full impact of the law. And, the Christian gospel and the American mercy and grace for second chances, these are two separate conversations. But at the same time, if she's somebody who is now understanding that even though America has had some great sins and black marks on their history, that where we are today, we are a second, third, fourth opportunity landing zone for people all across the globe to have opportunity, and that there's something to be celebrated about that, even in the midst of brokenness. That extends even to Brittney Griner.
I would agree.
Thanks for trashing my photo. You can see the horrible photo on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page, but stick right here on the Odyssey app or 97.1 FM Talk, because Mark Reardon is up next.
Hey guys, love to hear from my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys that I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit, and you have to pay, we're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
Stewie and the Bagel Loan, Stewart's American Mortgage. This is your destination for getting your economic situation back on track. How can you do a mortgage refinance right now when rates have, as you've heard, gone up from their historic lows? How can that make your situation better? Well, first and foremost, when you use the Bagel Loan with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, you don't pay fees that every other lender out there will charge you for. You are going to be able to do a refinance on your home and potentially take some of that equity that you have in your house out, pay down that high interest credit card debt, get ahead of all of this other income obligation that you have using a Bagel Loan where it's not going to cost you what everybody else out there is going to charge you to get into this mortgage refinance. Plus, the Bagel Loan works for just straight up refinances, doesn't have to be cash out, can be a cash out, and also works for home purchases. Call them at 314-324-4440. You can text them also at 314-324-4440. Make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. You can Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS number 226715.
Enjoy the show from wherever you are with the MLB app.